All right, we all had that friend growing up that had all the cool toys that you never had. You get all jealous like, oh, cool, look, he's got a Nintendo 64 and I'm over here with 3 Lincoln Logs. Cool. And that kid to me was my friend David. He had pretty much everything he wanted as a kid. For example, David had a bunk bed in his room. But David was an only child, so what the hell does he need a bunk bed for? I didn't know all your stuffed animals needed a place to sleep. God forbid. He had all the cool stuff. He could top whatever you had by far. You finally got that sweet holographic Charizard Pokemon card? Well, guess what? He's got 3 of them, and they're all autographed by a real live Charizard. Suck on that. The dude had 3 Razor mini scooters. 3 of them. What do you need 3 scooters for, David? You have 2 legs on your body. You're not a goddamn millipede. You don't need multiple scooters to ride around on. But out of everything David had, the trampoline in his backyard was the best. The day he got it, all the kids in the neighborhood just marveled at it. We can bounce up to the moon on this damn thing. And boy, did we. We jumped on that thing and jumped and jumped and jumped our little asses off. We did that for like a whole 15 minutes. All right, that was fun. Now what do we do?
How about we try to hurt each other?
Oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Let's play a game called Dropkick.
How do you play Dropkick?
Oh, here, I'll show you. That was the name of our favorite game to play on the trampoline. Dropkick. Not the most clever name, but I got the point across. And I'm going to teach you guys how to play Dropkick, all right? Rule number 1. Be a dumbass 9-year-old kid. Okay, check. We got that. We all qualify. Rule number 2. Try to injure your friends as much as possible, only using your feet. Kick them in the teeth, kick them in the belly, knock the air out of them.
Oh, God, I think I'm gonna throw up.
Do anything you can to try to hurt your best friend. You made somebody bleed? Cool, that's 1 point. You knocked a tooth out? Hey, that's 2 points, all right. Oh, look at that, they're comatose on the ground. Well, guess what? You're the champion now. You'd have kids wearing steel-toe boots. I got my baseball cleats on, ready to ruin somebody's life. Michael would be over there in his bare feet so he could move faster. That's what he always said.
I have to be agile.
Yeah, Michael, because God forbid your knockoff Jordans are really gonna slow you down. Michael, put your goddamn shoes on for Christ's sake. You're freaking everybody out. Jesus Christ, well, at least cut your damn toenails once in a while with your nasty Wolverine feet. God, you're disgusting. Rule number 3, don't touch the ground. Now, chances were that at some point somebody would kick you off the trampoline, but if you touch that ground, you are out. You're done playing Dropkick for that round. Michael, you're on the ground. You're out.
No, I'm not. I'm in. I can still play.
Michael, your leg is broken in half, dude. Sit this one out. You lost. Sometimes you get kicked, and you'd get lucky and be able to grab onto the chain link fence. Your back would slide down it like a cheese grater. You fall back on the trampoline. Your back's bleeding like a gunshot wound. I'm still in. I'm in, okay? Careful where you step. It's slippery. There's blood all over the place. Then you'd have kids like my buddy's little brother, Matt, who was like a whole 48 pounds at the time. His ass was so light, if he jumped up too high, a stiff breeze could carry him right over the fence. He had the hardest time playing Dropkick because there wasn't any weight classes when we played. So little Matt there, he'd have to face off against somebody like Corey, who had the physique of a middle-aged garbage man. He's got like a hot dog in one hand.
Yeah, let's get it on.
Corey couldn't even jump in the air. There's no way he's getting his big ass airborne. So he'd just fall on his butt, launch Matt into the stratosphere. It's a technical knockout. Matt is disqualified.
He didn't touch the ground.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to be in outer space either. He's disqualified. He's done. Rule number 4. This is the final rule of Dropkick. Don't get hit by the big rock. Now, you might be asking yourself, big rock? What big rock? Well, as if a bunch of 9-year-olds throwing their bodies around like a circus act wasn't dangerous enough, we'd put a big 16-pound garden rock on the trampoline. There you go. Now you gotta dodge this big-ass bowling ball rock while people are trying to kick you in the forehead. That sounds fun. This thing's flying through the air, landing on people's toes. You'd be looking the wrong way. Big-ass rock comes out of nowhere and breaks your pelvis. Little Matt's face is totally filled with terror. He knows if he gets hit with that damn rock, he's gonna explode on impact. That's what he's gonna do. He'd have David's mom come outside and check on us.
Hey, any of you guys want some lemonade? No? Nobody? Oh, you boys and your silly games.
You'd have other kids from the neighborhood staring at us from a distance. Oh my God, what are they doing?
Hey, you guys want to play Dropkick? What's it called? Dropkick, Garden Rock, trampoline game?
No. We'll play hide and seek or something instead.
Are you sure? It's really, really fun.
There's a dead kid over here.
Yeah, we know. He's disqualified. Hey, you guys got any Band-Aids or some morphine?
Alright, I was a big fan of airsoft guns when I was a kid. If you don't know what an airsoft gun is, well, it's a plastic gun that kind of bridges the gap between a Nerf gun and a semi-automatic rifle. They shoot little plastic BBs, and after about a week, your whole house is littered with them. Your dad's dumping them out of the toaster. Your sister's digging them out of her ass crack. You just go around shooting a bunch of holes in all the lampshades. And I was the first kid on my block to get an airsoft gun. Brought it out to show off to everybody. They're all mesmerized. I could conquer the whole goddamn world with this thing. My buddy David literally took it out of my hand, and he's like, "Oh, sweet, this is sweet." David, what the fuck? It was my turn to shoot Michael in the face. It was a bit of a trendsetter, I gotta say, because like a week later, every kid on the block had an airsoft gun. They didn't have a normal airsoft gun like I did. They had this fucking battery-powered M16 tactical shit, fully automatic, get shot in the face 30 times in 4 seconds. Hold on a damn minute. Jesus, I'm using this Stone Age piece of crap. My shit looks like a Happy Meal toy compared to yours. Michael's over there. Doesn't even have an airsoft gun. He's like shooting BBs through a fucking straw like it's a blowgun. He's wearing his puffy-ass winter coat in the middle of July, his body armor. There'd always be somebody out of ammo trying to call timeout. Wait a minute, timeout! Bitch, there ain't no timeout in airsoft! You get home with a bunch of red welts all over your body like somebody gave you a smallpox blanket. I eventually upgraded my arsenal, threw my handgun out, and purchased a big ol' sniper rifle. Thing's bigger than my entire body. Big ass scope on top of it like I was gonna assassinate a public official. Sure, it didn't shoot fast like the other ones, but that thing had some power. My friends hiding behind a car and shit, I just shoot through the fucking car. First weekend I got that rifle, shot my cousin in the back. The following weekend we had a closed casket funeral for him. Now, on one particular day, we were playing Capture the Flag. And it's important to note at this time, they didn't put the big ass orange tips on these guns like they do nowadays. Let you know it's a fake gun. No, they just dab a bit of orange nail polish on the end of that bitch, call it a day. And that kind of makes it a little hard for your neighbors to determine if you're outside playing or if you're committing an act of domestic terrorism.
Yeah, hi, 911. There's a child with a deer rifle and he's running amok in the streets.
So I'm sitting there at my base, which is David's front yard. I'm peeking through my scope like I'm about to put Lyndon B. Johnson into office. And I'm on the lookout for David. Now, where's David at? Well, David has ADHD, so he's not at his base, and he's not at my base. Hell, I don't even know if he even knew he was playing at the time. Probably forgot all about it, chasing a butterfly and shit. Now, David decides to walk to one of the busiest streets in the city and wave around what looks to be an automatic assault rifle in the air. Well, imagine David's surprise when about 4 seconds later, a goddamn paddy wagon pulls up in front of him. Bunch of cops pile out. They got their guns drawn on this completely oblivious, attention deficit child. Now, I wasn't there. I was around the block waiting to shoot David in the teeth with my Kennedy killer. But I bet that turd in his pants was massive. Well, it didn't take him long to figure out that David's gun wasn't real. Luckily, he wasn't massacred on the street right there and then. They load his ass in the back of the wagon, like the wild animal that he is, and they pull up to the front of his house. Now, I was there for this part, and I can say for sure that the turd in my pants was massive. One cop gets out and he's like, "Put that goddamn rifle down!" So I threw it like the gun was on fire. Dave comes out of the back of the truck looking like a shitty Dennis the Menace cartoon. "The hell do you think you kids are doing?"
We're just playing.
"Why's that kid wearing that puffy ass coat? It's 94 degrees outside." David's mom comes running out like they're filming an episode of Law and Order in her front yard. Instead of getting a chance to meet Ice-T, she's got to deal with this bullshit. Now, the cops were really cool about this whole shitty situation. They gave David's mom our arsenal of plastic weapons, and they're all like, "Well, we could have murdered your kid and got away with it, but, well, we didn't, so you're welcome. Why don't you give him a wiffle ball bat or some shit to play with instead? Jesus Christ." So the moral of the story is, don't be a fucking idiot waving a weapon around in the street. Alright, when I was a kid, riding bikes was a big deal. Everybody in the neighborhood had a bike. Now me personally, I had a mountain bike. But not just any mountain bike, it was a big-ass mountain bike. Shit looked like it was made for a 6'5" lumberjack. Like the size of the kickstand. I have to use a trampoline just to get on the damn thing. Now, most of my friends had BMX bikes. They all thought they were pretty sweet because their bikes had pegs on them. David, your ass can't even bunny hop. What do you think, you're Matt Hoffman? Is your ass gonna grind down some handrails or something? Then we had my friend Michael, who had the shittiest bike I've ever seen in my life. He's over there rolling around on a bike from the 1920s.
Who wants to get their ass beat in a race?
Michael, nobody's gonna race you with your stupid-ass Charlie Chaplin bike. Now, the four of us would ride around our neighborhood pretty much all summer long. To us, we were like a shitty little biker gang.
Hey, we're like a bunch of bikers. How about you guys call me Tomahawk?
Michael, I'd rather shit broken glass than call you Tomahawk, you know that?
Well, shouldn't we have like a name or something for our bike gang?
Yeah, let's be called something tough, like the Scorpions.
How about the Panda Bears?
Yeah, Michael, let's be the Panda Bears. We'll get some leather jackets made and everything. Sounds real intimidating, doesn't it? Hey, what are you guys, the Hell's Angels? Yeah, that sounds pretty gay. We're the Panda Bears. We'd be riding around the neighborhood. We got our fake tattoos and our candy cigarettes. Dave's over there wearing some broken sunglasses he found in the street. We would see who could make the longest skid mark in Michael's driveway. There'd be dozens of black marks all over the place. Michael's stepdad would come out. What the hell are you guys doing to the driveway? God damn it, Michael, you're getting 10 across the ass. We'd have all the chicks in the neighborhood checking out our sweet bikes. Yeah, there's 21 gears on this bad boy, and I have no idea how they work.
Yeah, I'm practically in the X Games. One time I grinded on the Great Wall of China. Last summer, my stepdad found this bike in a river.
We'd set up a little ramp in the street so we could soar a whole 3 feet into the sky. Michael would try to go off the ramp with his shitty little bike. Goddamn thing would explode on impact. Like a whole summer, Michael didn't have a bike, so he had to ride on David's pegs. Well, riding on pegs is like sitting on the bitch seat in the biker world. Nobody wants to do that.
All right, we're going to the park. Get on the pegs, Michael, you're riding bitch. I don't want to ride bitch.
Get on the goddamn pegs, Michael. You're riding bitch and you will like it. After a while, he started using his sister's pink Barbie bike. The thing had like one training wheel on it and shit. We didn't want to be seen in public with him, so we'd like ride like an extra 50 feet ahead of him. Just pretend we didn't know who the hell he was.
Hey guys, wait for me.
Why is that retarded kid on that Barbie bike following us?
I have no idea.
Now, on one particular day, we were out on the street and we were racing each other. And one of our friends, Tommy, shows up on his bike and he's with this kid, Jonathan. Now, we didn't like Jonathan that much because he's an asshole. There's no other way to put it. He was just kind of a dick. And Tommy just hung out with him because he had a Sony PlayStation, which made sense to us.
What are you guys doing? Are you guys like a bike gang or something? Yeah, we're the Panda Bears. Wow, that sounds pretty gay. We're the Scorpions.
God damn it, Michael, I told you Scorpions was a better name.
So you guys like want to race or something?
All right, we'll do a 1-versus-1 race, down to the end of the street and back. Who's gonna go first on your team? Wait a minute, Michael, what the hell are you doing on their side?
My name's not Michael, it's Tomahawk.
God damn it, Michael, get over here on our side.
No, I'm changing teams. Jonathan said I could play his PlayStation.
Oh, you're such a hooker, Michael. God damn it. All right, somebody help me on my bike. Michael, I am kicking your ass. Get on your stupid Barbie Dreamhouse bike. Let's race. Thank you for joining us at 13 o'clock news. This just in, there's a drag race happening on Burton Avenue. We have Dan Peterson at the scene. Dan, what do you have for us?
Well, Tom, it looks like it's the Pandas versus the Scorpions. It's like some kind of shitty West Side Story out here.
That sounds astounding, Dan. Can you tell me who the competitors are?
Well, Tom, it looks like a toddler on a giant bicycle versus a transvestite on a Barbie bike.
So we start racing, and we are flying down the street. I'm changing gears all willy-nilly. Michael's pedaling that little Barbie bike like he just robbed a liquor store. But the thing is that this little girl bike was never meant to go over 9 miles an hour. Michael's flying down the road. Well, imagine his surprise when the chain pops, and he goes soaring through the air and cracks his face on the pavement. So I see this happen, and I do what anybody would do. I keep on fucking going. We're in the middle of a goddamn race. Michael's ass could have been shot by a rifle, and I wouldn't even have stopped for a second. He's on the ground. There's blood all over the place. He's crying. I get back to everybody else, and I'm like, yeah, you guys can suck it. This is Panda property. Bamboo Boys for life.
Where's Michael at?
Well, that is a good question, isn't it, Jonathan? Where is little Tomahawk after all? I'll tell you where he's at. He's limping his jacked up Barbie bike back home. That's where he's at. He's still got tears in his eyes. His face is all bloody and shit. God damn it, Michael, what did you do to your sister's bike? Now you're getting 20 across the ass. All right, being poor sucks. I wouldn't recommend being poor. I've been poor for most of my life. I've been living on my own since I was 17 years old. And when I was 17, I lived with my roommate Brewer in a duplex. Now that right there should give you an idea of how much money we had. We couldn't even rent a whole house. We rented half a house. Our landlord's like, you guys get the top part, this random stranger gets the bottom part, you guys share a basement and make awkward conversation from time to time. You got it? All right, cool. And let me say, our asses were broke living in that duplex. I was so broke, if I found a nickel on the ground, I wouldn't just put it in my pocket. I'd bust out my wallet and put that baby in there nice and secure. You're not going anywhere. I could buy a half a Tootsie Roll with you, and there's nothing quite like being hungry and having no money. We'd just be sitting there sometimes. Well, we have no money until we get paid on Friday. What day is it? It's Tuesday. Ah, well, looks like we're fucked. Well, we had a good run. I guess it's time to kill ourselves. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. What's the cheapest way to not feel hungry when you have no money? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's going to sleep. Just take your ass to bed. You can't feel hungry when you're asleep, now can you? It's like using a cheat code. All right, I'm going to sleep for the next 3 days until we get paid again. Wake me up when we can eat. There's one time we scavenged the whole house, checking underneath all the furniture for any loose change, and somehow we managed to scrape together a decent amount of money, and we were able to buy a whole box of Hamburger Helper. Oh yeah, we're gonna eat good tonight. We're at the grocery store, frolicking down the aisle. We're dumping all our change on the counter, like the cashier just hit a jackpot on a slot machine. We get home, and Brewer decides to cook this Hamburger Helper in what looks like the oldest, most decrepit pan I've ever seen in my life. It's got rust marks on it. It's all crusty and shit. This damn thing looked like he salvaged it from the Titanic. He serves it up, and there's like these black speckles mixed in the food. And I'm like, what is this, pepper? Did you put pepper in this? No, it wasn't pepper. Spoiler alert. It was like the metal coating on the pan that scraped off, mixed in with the food. Oh, well, that's gross. What are we supposed to do now? Well, I'll tell you what we did. We ate it anyways. Not much of a choice there now, was it? This tastes like soot and metal. Yeah, it sure does. There'd be people on Fear Factor that wouldn't even eat this shit, and we're over here getting seconds. It's really not that bad if you close your eyes and try to think of something else. And if we weren't worried about food being on the table, we definitely were worried about getting utilities shut off every month. You'd get a disconnection notice in the mail for the gas, for the electric, for goddamn utilities you didn't even know existed. You get a knock on the door. Yeah, hi, Oxygen Company. We're here to shut your shit off. Oxygen Company? What the hell? Bring in the vacuum! We had our gas shut off for a whole summer one time. No more warm showers, no more dryer. That gas oven in your kitchen, well, that just turned into extra counter space. That's what that is. We're not paying the gas bill. What are you, crazy? Most people like having a functioning oven in their kitchen, you know. Some people even see it as a necessity. But us, no, we didn't need that gas oven. We just got an electric toaster oven and put it right on top of our old oven. There we go, problem solved. Now we can make our Tostino's pizzas again. We had our water shut off for a week one time. Guess what? Now you got no working toilet. Where are you supposed to shit now, smarty pants? If you have ever had the joy of having your water shut off, then you know that you have one remaining flush in that tank on your toilet. You better make it count. So let's do some quick poop math. You could probably take like 4 shits in that thing and maybe like, I don't know, 20 pisses before things start breaking the crest of the rim. So everybody in the house rushes to go to the bathroom like it's the last helicopter out of Vietnam. Everybody get in here! We're making the most out of this last flush. Now you can still use your toilet if you dump some water bottles in the tank. Manufacture your own flush there. One time I didn't have any water bottles, but I did have an old 2-liter of flat Mountain Dew sitting there in the kitchen, and I got to thinking, that'll work, right? Why wouldn't it? So there I am, dumping Mountain Dew into a toilet tank so I can poop in it. It was probably at this moment in my life where I was like, man, I should really get my life sorted out. This is not how I pictured my life to be. And while we're on this subject of pooping when you're poor, what are you supposed to wipe with when you got 3 nickels in your wallet? Because toilet paper, sure as shit, is a luxury at that point in your life. I've wiped my ass with so many different substances from not having proper toilet paper, I could write a book on it. How to poop when you're poor. What to wipe with, what to flush with. I'm talking McDonald's napkins, coffee filters. You start looking at how fluffy the cat is, thinking, you know what? It's a possibility if worse comes to worse. The cat's hiding under the couch and shit. You know something's up. You're not wiping with me, buddy. No siree. But having the water or the gas shut off, that wasn't that big of a deal to us. We can deal with that. We'll make do. But where I draw the line is the internet. We tried to pay that bill as best we could. But no matter how hard we'd try, we still got our internet shut off probably about 15 times. You'd be sitting there one day trying to log into your MySpace, and you get one of these bad boys pop up on your browser. Oh, god damn it! We don't have any internet! What is this, Pakistan? How am I supposed to switch around my MySpace top 8? I still have Tom in there, for Christ's sake. Everybody's gonna think I'm some kind of loser. I will gladly shit in some Mountain Dew, but I will be damned if I don't have any internet. Alright, this is a story about when I was 11 years old and my brain decided to go all screwy and have itself a seizure. And seizures aren't very fun. I wouldn't really recommend having any, especially if you're 11. Alright, so my friend Steven is over my house, and he brought his dumbass little brother Matt along with him. And we're in my room, Steven's playing his Game Boy, and Matt and I are playing some Pokemon cards. We're having a good old time. Now normally I would whoop Matt's ass at Pokemon cards 6 ways to Sunday, but on this day, the unimaginable was happening. I'm sitting there on the ropes, I got my shitty ass little Weedle card. He's over there, he's got a Blastoise on steroids. Thing's got like Mark McGuire arms and shit. Let's hit some dingers. Jesus Christ, I'm about to lose to Steven's little brother. What kind of piece of shit loses to Steven's little brother? So I pick up a card. I'm hoping for a miracle at this point, and lo and behold, a miracle does happen. Everything goes black. I fall over like a sack of potatoes, and I start foaming at the mouth like a wild animal. I'm having what some people would call a seizure. And I didn't even get to have one of the fun seizures. You know, where you're flopping around like a fish? No, I just laid there, half dead, eyes wide open. What a ripoff. Now, Steven and Matt, they see this whole thing, and they think I'm faking it. Oh, come on, I was just about to win. Stop laying there being an asshole. Who the hell knows how long I laid there before my dad finally walked in? Hey, what kind of shit do you guys want on your hot dogs? Whoa, what the hell happened to him? Ooh, I want ketchup. Oh, yeah, we think your son's dead. Now, I don't remember any of this because my brain doesn't work anymore, apparently. The next thing that I did remember is waking up on the couch with everybody staring at me. What the hell? Why is everybody staring at me? What is this, some kind of shitty surprise birthday party? The paramedics bust through the door. They carry me to the ambulance. I'm still completely oblivious to what's going on. You know I can walk, right? I have legs that work. Yeah, but you don't have a fucking brain that works, apparently. So we're at the hospital trying to figure out why my brain suddenly turned into a bowl of mashed potatoes. My mom's absolutely positive that the reason I had a seizure was because all those nights I stayed up playing Nintendo 64. It was that goddamn Poketron Stadium, I know it. But me personally, I know exactly what happened. The thought of me losing to Steven's stupid-ass little brother was so abstract to my brain that it tried to explode itself. That's the only logical reason. So at this point, I have to have an MRI done, and if you've never had an MRI done before, then you don't know what hell on earth is. It's where they slide you into this big tube so they can take pictures of your broken-ass brain. Now, I'm not a claustrophobic person, or maybe I should say I wasn't a claustrophobic person before the MRI. There's something about being strapped down and put into a giant tube that kind of makes you feel uneasy. I'm never getting out of this thing. I'm gonna die and stay here forever. So I'm a little apprehensive. The nurse comes over and she's like, "It's okay to be nervous. We're gonna put some music through these earbuds to help ease your mind. What kind of music do you like? You guys got any Limp Bizkit? Let me check."
Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man?
Oh yeah, perfect. As if this couldn't get any worse. So they slide me into this tube of hell, and they're like, "Okay, this machine's a little noisy. Just try to focus on your music." Oh yeah, a little noisy. That's a bit of an understatement, don't you think? So much for the goddamn Muffin Man, I can't hear anything. So there I am, completely stuck in a tube, listening to R2-D2 have loud sex with a garbage disposal. Every now and then the machine would stop, goddamn Muffin Man would chime back into my ears.
Oh, the Muffin Man, the Muffin.
So this goes on for 45 minutes, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I never knew this circle of hell existed. Lucky me. When I finally get out of that thing, I'm like, hey, thanks a bunch, guys, but I think I'd rather have the seizures than do that shit again. So at this point, we had to wait for the doctor to look at the results. And I'm not saying my doctor was stupid, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't all the way there. What the hell is this big blobby thing? That's the brain, doctor. Oh, yeah, all right. Well, that's good, right? I don't know. So there I am, waiting to be diagnosed, hoping I get some answers finally. Oh man, I hope it's not brain AIDS. I bet I got AIDS in the brain, Mom. I should have never listened to that Nickelback CD. Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is your son has a brain in his head. And the bad news is, what was your question again? Why did he have a seizure? Oh yeah, that's right. We don't really know. So now I have to get an EEG test. And an EEG test is when they glue a bunch of electrodes to your head and they sit you in front of a strobe light. I remember thinking a strobe light, oh my god, they're trying to make me have a seizure now. What a bunch of assholes. Okay, just sit back and relax. We're just gonna shine a few lights in your eyeballs.
How you feeling? You feeling a little seizure-y?
No, but I'm feeling like my goddamn brain's gonna explode.
Oh man, I thought you'd be flopping all over the floor by now. Well, I guess we could hit you in the head with this frying pan and see what happens.
So after all this hellacious testing, my doctor concludes that he doesn't really know why I had a seizure. Sometimes your brain's just stupid, I guess. I don't know. What do I look like, a doctor? So I never figured out why, and I never had a seizure since then. But there's one good thing that came from this whole shitty mess, and that was from then on, I could always fake a seizure and get out of losing any game.
Aha, checkmate. I win. Oh, god damn it, not again.
All right, school lunch. Nothing better than lunchtime to break up the school day. Give you a nice little break from learning about social studies or erosion, goddamn isosceles triangles, I don't know. You sit there with your asshole friends. Everybody's showing off their sweet lunch boxes.
I got angry beavers. I got the Herculoids.
I got this sweet-ass 2D lunchbox. You know, from the Facts of Life. Anybody? God damn it, am I the only one that watches TV Land in this bitch or what? And you'd sit there and you eat your stupid little lunch, your peanut butter and jelly, a fruit roll-up, piss-warm Kool-Aid that you kept in your Jefferson's thermos. My friend Michael, he'd always have the shittiest food in his lunch that he'd try to auction off, trade away to some poor bastard.
I'll trade you this dirty rhubarb for your fruit roll-up.
Nobody wants your stupid-ass rhubarb, Michael. Jesus Christ. It's not our fault your mom packs your lunch like we're in the Great Depression. Of course, we could always buy a school lunch from our manly-ass lunch ladies. Lunch ladies that look like they bounce nightclubs on the side. They got like stubble and dirt mustaches that would make any 13-year-old boy going through puberty pretty jealous.
$1.40, please. Thank you.
Now, I went to public school, so I didn't get any of those fancy pants private school lunches all you rich kids had. Your fucking filet mignon and your caviar. No, hell no. Fucking hot ham and cheese in a bag. Condensation on the inside. Nice and soggy. Tastes like it's been sitting in a hot car on a summer day for a few hours. Yeah, that's your lunch. That's what we're having for lunch on Mondays. No, shit's disgusting. You fucking pack on Mondays. Now, Tuesdays, they're okay. Tuesday was burrito day. They tasted pretty good, but you pay the price right about the time gym class kicks in. Your stomach's all like... What's the matter out there? Why aren't you playing the kickball?
There's a puddle of shit in my pants.
All right, get a hall pass. Fucking Tuesdays. Then Wednesdays, that was mac and cheese with a side of peas. Why peas? I don't know. Nobody ate that shit. Maybe because it rhymed and it sounded nice. I don't know. Mac and cheese and peas. Fucking licorice and tuna fish. Spicy pickles and a goddamn jar of nickels. Delicious. And then there was Thursdays. Thursdays were the best days when it came to school lunch because Thursday was pizza day. And if you were the dumbass that accidentally packed a lunch on pizza day, well, get ready to be made fun of for the rest of your life. Oh, you packed on pizza day? You know what you look like? A person that makes shitty decisions. Now get away from me before you fuck up my life. That pizza was so damn good. Even today, as an adult, I'll be like sitting in traffic somewhere and I'll just think about that pizza. Like, God damn, that was a good ass pizza. It's like the most precious thing you could have when you were 9 years old. It was valuable. You could trade anything you wanted for it. I seen a kid shove a dime up his nose and then cough it out on the table. Blah. All for an extra piece of pizza. Like, dude, you're gonna give yourself sepsis for Christ's sake. All for a bag of Tony's pizza. But no matter what day it was, lunchtime would always end the same way. For the last 10 minutes of lunch, the man ladies would turn off the lights, which meant everybody had to shut the fuck up. If you were caught talking, one of these linebacker women would make you stand up, and standing up was a bad thing. I don't know, we didn't want to stand up, I guess. Sometimes the lunch ladies would appoint a fellow classmate to be their little deputy and walk around, make sure you weren't talking. And you'd always have that one asshole who'd let all that power go to his head.
Stand up, you're talking.
Fuck you, Michael, I'm not standing up. We're supposed to be on the same team, you goddamn traitor.
Well, you didn't trade your goddamn fruit roll-up to me, so stand up.
I swear to God, Michael, I'm gonna stone cold stunner you as soon as we leave here.
I am the law.
So you just stand there, have everybody oogle at you until it was time to leave.
Oh man, he looks like such an idiot. Look at him standing up and everybody else is sitting down. What a stupid idiot.
Then your teacher would come and you'd go off. And that was it. Michael would get stone cold stunnered for his bullshit shenanigans, and everything was right in the world.
Give me a hell yeah.
Alright, since April Fool's Day's in pissing distance, I figured I'd talk a little about pranks. Or more specifically, about a prank war between me and a few friends of mine. Now this prank war all started with a Christmas tree. It was an old Christmas tree that my friend Steven had to get rid of. Now instead of taking it to the curb like most people would, he decides to drive over to my house with it. He sees my car parked out in the street, it's totally unlocked, it's looking vulnerable, and he starts to thinking, hey, I wonder if this Christmas tree would fit in his car. So in broad day, daylight, he starts shoving this pine tree into my car. Nobody stops and asks him any questions. Hey, why are you doing that? That looks like a shitty thing to do. No, my roommate Brewer comes outside right in the middle of all this, and he sees Steven penetrating my car with this pine tree, and he's overjoyed. Because it's not his car after all. He doesn't care.
I like what you're doing here. You are giving that car the business.
So somehow, Steven manages to squeeze this dead pine tree into my tiny-ass Chevy Cavalier like he's some kind of shitty David Copperfield. And a few hours go by, and I walk out to my car. I take one look at it, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Something's different. I don't remember putting a goddamn pine tree in my car. Part of me wasn't even mad. You kind of have to be impressed that he actually got the tree to fit. It had to be at the precise angle. His ass had to be out there with a giant protractor or some shit. That's pretty impressive. But I tell you what's not impressive, the 8 million dead pine needles that are scattered throughout my car. They're on the cup holder, on the dashboard. Every time I sit down, it feels like a small porcupine's getting shoved up my ass. Now I gotta figure out how to get back at Steven. But before I get back at Steven, I decide to get my revenge on Brewer. Because after all, he could have blew the whistle on this whole operation. He could have at least shot me a text message like, hey dude, there's a Christmas miracle happening outside if you want to come check it out. But no, he didn't do that. So I form a little posse, have a couple people come over, and we decide to try to duct tape Brewer's bed to the ceiling. Now, I don't know if you've ever attempted such an ambitious maneuver, but taping a bed to a ceiling is a little difficult. You have to have 3 people standing on chairs, holding the bed up to the ceiling, box spring and all, while one person goes around and tapes everything. We used 3 rolls of duct tape on this goddamn thing, and it just wouldn't stay. God damn it. Well, I guess we're gonna have to use plan B. Plan B was we're just gonna steal his bed and hide it somewhere. And then, since we're so goddamn funny, we're gonna put a piece of bread where his bed used to be, and then we're gonna drive to his work and leave a note in his car. And the note says, you look tired, go to bread. God damn it, we are comedic geniuses. Now, I can only imagine the look on his face when he read that weird cryptic-ass message that we left in there. You look tired, go to bread. What in tarnation does that mean? But I'm sure it made perfect sense when he got home and had to go on a shitty little scavenger hunt for his bed. But you bet your ass he did find it, because a slice of Wonder Bread makes a shitty place to sleep. Okay, cross Brewer off the list, now on to Steven. But before I could get back at Steven, for whatever reason my friend Cody decides to throw his hat in the ring. He wants to get involved in this prank war. So the next day I'm at work making pizzas, and Cody shows up and he wants a pizza. So I make him a nice little pizza, and I don't even spit in it because I'm a gentleman, what can I say? But before he leaves, he decides he's gonna go to my car and he's gonna draw a big old wiener on my back windshield with window chalk. So a few hours go by and I leave for work, and I'm totally oblivious. Hell, it's not until I'm in the middle of traffic at a red light when I look in my rearview mirror and notice it. What in tarnation is that? Oh man, it's a big dingus. Everybody on the street can see it. People are honking their horns and shit.
Hey, that's quite the wiener decal you got there.
Thank you. I drove all the way home with a wiener on my car, looking like a NASCAR that's sponsored by Wieners Incorporated. Okay, looks like Cody's name's going on the shit list. I call him up in the middle of the night. I'm gonna get you back. You're not gonna know when, and you're not gonna know how, but I'm gonna get you back. You drew a wiener on my car, and you soiled my reputation, goddammit, I'm gonna get you! But Cody was easy to get back. All I had to do was get some window chalk of my own, and write, I drink pee on his bumper, right before he'd leave work. I did that sporadically for like a month. I also wrote shit on Brewer's car too, because, well, what the hell, why not? Okay, so back to revenge on Steven, because after all, he's the one that started this whole goddamn mess, having the 12 days of Christmas in my Cavalier. So me and Brewer are sitting there one night thinking, well, what's worse than drawing a big wiener on his car?
How about drawing 1,000 tiny wieners on his car?
That is a great idea. You are a goddamn genius. So that was the plan. Me, Brewer, his girlfriend, and my cousin David, we're all gonna sneak over to Steven's house at 2 in the morning, and by golly, we're gonna draw as many wieners as we can on his Ford Contour. So we're out there sneaking around in the dark, like SEAL Team 6, markers in hand, ready to draw some wieners, and there's his car, looking vulnerable just like mine was. So we get to wiener drawing. Some of them have smiley faces, some of them look like they've been hit by a car. In 15 minutes, we covered every square inch of that car with a phallus. Job well done, gang. Let's hit the road. The morning rolls around, and Steven's uncle pulls up in front of the house. He's the first one that gets to lay eyes on the Wienermobile parked out front. Oh my God, what kind of shit is my nephew getting himself involved in? He goes inside and tells Steven's mom, hey, there's a bunch of wieners on your son's car.
What?
Steve's car, there's a bunch of dicks all over it.
Like severed dicks?
No, Jesus Christ. Christ, they're drawings, not a bunch of cut-off dicks all over his car. What the hell's the matter with you? That morning was the morning that Steven had to get up and scrub 1,000 wieners off his car. And I take great pride in that. I feel like that's ample revenge for what he did.
Hey, that's quite a bunch of wieners on your car there.
Yeah, I'm aware. Thank you. My favorite part of the story is that 6 days later, Steven's at the gas station filling up his car, and he looks over to his gas tank and he sees one little wiener that he missed with a little message that says, "Insert here." Oh, god damn it. All right, it's 5th grade. I'm walking home from school with a few buddies of mine. One of those kids was a kid named David. Now, David was a kid that would always dare people to do stupid shit.
I'll give you $10 if you make out with this dog turd for 10 seconds. You're on.
Whoa, wait a minute, Michael. Holy hell. $10? He's 9 years old, for Christ's sake. David's never even seen $10 in his whole life. Don't be a dumbass. And when people didn't do these dares, well, then sometimes he'd just take matters into his own hands. And on this particular walk home from school, that's exactly what he did. He came up to us, and he whips out this little bottle of cologne from his pocket. And he's like,
You dare me to spray this in somebody's face?
and we're like, wait a minute, what the hell is your 9-year-old ass doing with a bottle of cologne? I know, I'm sure you got tons of chicks, left and right, doing your sweet bunny hops on your Razor scooter.
You dare me to spray this in somebody's face or what?
Right in somebody's face. Why the hell would you?
Okay, I'll do it.
And David just scampers off towards some kid I've never even seen before. Some kid just minding his own business. Probably wondering what Animaniacs episode's gonna be on when he gets home. And David's just like,
Hey, you jabroni.
what?
Oh my God.
The poor kid just got like 47 cents worth of cheap cologne sprayed into his eyeballs. He's down on his knees screaming in agony, like Willem Dafoe in the end of Platoon. And we're just standing there baffled, like what the hell is he doing? So we run after David to figure out why he assaulted this young man with a Scrappy-Doo book bag. We catch up to him in front of the porn shop. Yeah, we had a porn shop that was like 300 yards away from our elementary school. It was a little weird, a little uncomfortable to walk past when you're going home. Sometimes we'd stand across the street, watch all the perverts go in and out of that place.
Oh, sick. Look, he's going in. Oh, God damn it.
So we catch up to David and we're like, what the hell are you doing, you fucking terrorist?
You guys dared me.
We didn't dare you to blind a child, David. What the fuck? And then all of a sudden, there's Scrappy-Doo bookbag himself with his little sister. Eyes are all bloodshot and shit. Oh man, he looks pissed. Wait a minute, why is he looking at me? Whoa, hey buddy, I didn't melt your goddamn eyeballs out of your head. Don't look at me. He's like ripping grass out of the earth with his bare hands to show that he's really, really mad, I guess. I'm like, oh shit, I've played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out before. He's gonna charge at me like bald bull. I look over at David, and he's got this dumbass smile on his face. Just completely all right with the situation that he's created, that he's not even fucking a part of anymore. Look, I know you're upset, okay, but your eyeballs smell fantastic. Too late. Fucking kid just starts darting right at me. So I do what comes natural. I get out of the fucking way, and the kid cracks his face on a tree that's right behind us. Blood starts gushing out of his face. He drops to his knees like Willem Dafoe at the end of Platoon.
Holy hell. That kid got beat up by a maple tree.
I turn over to look at David, and where's David? He's sprinting his ass down the road. That's where he's at. So what the hell are we supposed to do with this bleeding child in the middle of the road? Well, I'll tell you what we did. We fucking followed David. Scrappy's sister's yelling shit from behind us.
I'm telling on you, you murdered my brother.
We never seen that poor kid again. That was it. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe the perverts in the porn shop, they probably got him.
Oh, there's a live one. Get him.
So here's to you, Scrappy-Doo bookbag. If you're watching this, I'm sorry. I mean, if you can even fucking see anymore, that is. I'm sorry that David was such a dick, and your face was mutilated in 2 different ways. And I'm sorry that me and that maple tree made the best tag team duo since the Hardy Boys. All right, it's the last day of school before summer break. Everybody's screwing off for the last few hours of the school year. Your teacher's sitting there smoking a cigarette. She's pissed off. She's got to lose a paycheck for the next 3 months. Yeah, I hope you little assholes have a good vacation. Now I have to supplement my income by being a waitress at a goddamn Applebee's all summer long. You didn't care about her problems. All you cared about was freedom. Oh my God, we're gonna do so much stuff. Think about all the stuff that we're gonna do. I got a huge list of stuff and things that we're gonna do all summer long. And at the start of your summer vacation, it's pretty sweet. You're throwing your Vortex footballs around and drinking your Capri Suns. But then like 3 days go by, all of a sudden you're bored as hell. You did all that stuff that you had planned. And you did all the things as well. Now you don't know what to do with yourself. You're just standing there in your front yard, staring at each other. The hot-ass summer sun's burning your pale skin. Jesus Christ. Michael, I am so sick of looking at your stupid fucking fucking face, you know that? With your dumb haircut and your stupid Scottie Pippen jersey. We done played all your Nintendo games, and we broke all your wrestling action figures, so now what the hell are we supposed to do? So you get a little desperate. You start making up games to play, and they're games that aren't even really games. They're just things that you throw together, off the cuff. There's not even a point to them.
Yeah, you guys want to play Dodge the Cars in the busy intersection? Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Just games that were a little dangerous, you know? Games you couldn't win, but you could sure as shit lose, that's for sure. All right, Tommy, we're gonna see how many times you can hit that beehive over there with this hockey stick. Let's see if you can break the record. The record is 0. All right, you ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Oh man, he's like Macaulay Culkin in My Girl.
His glasses, he can't see without his glasses. Sometimes we'd go out and we'd play in the rain. That was an activity to us, something that we looked forward to doing.
Aw, sweet, it's raining. Let's go get our swimsuits on and see how sick we can get. I bet I can get sicker than you. You're on.
David's already got his shirt off. Michael's somewhere drinking out of the gutter. And Michael was a weird kid. He'd do this thing where he'd collect water in a garbage can lid, and he'd just dump it all over himself.
It's a waterfall.
Michael, you sick animal, what are you doing? You're gonna get typhus or some shit, you backwards idiot. What the hell's the matter with you? There'd be like a tornado warning on TV. Somebody's parents would be like,
Hey, you guys being careful out there? Yeah, we're being careful.
Sometimes when it was raining really hard, we would play a game called Twister. No, not the game with the spinner and the dots that your uncle would try to make you play naked. Not that one. Twister, like the movie. In 1996, Bill Paxton, God rest his soul, did some of his worst acting ever. Oh no, Helen Hunt, it's an F5 tornado. I'm super scared right now. We'd all fight over what characters we were gonna be. I'm gonna be Bill Paxton. Well, shit, okay, I'm gonna be Philip Seymour Hoffman then.
Well, who the hell am I supposed to be now?
I don't know, Michael. I guess you're Helen Hunt, okay? Sorry, you're a girl. Go put a mop on your head or some shit. I could really give a shit.
Oh, hell no, I'm not being a girl. How about I be the cow that gets sucked up by the tornado?
A cow? You're gonna be a cow, Michael? Are you serious? Michael, you're not being a fucking cow, all right?
All right, I guess I'll be the tornado.
How the hell are you gonna be a tornado, Michael? Are you serious? You know what? Hell with it. Be the tornado. I could care less. Now, in this movie, they would chase tornadoes around in a convoy of vans. But since we were children, we didn't have a convoy of vans. We had to use a wagon. And we didn't have any tornadoes to chase, so we had to use, well, we used Michael.
I'm a tornado. Woo!
What the hell is that? What are you doing? Is that what a tornado sounds like to you?
I'm an F5 tornado. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Our parents would be watching us from the window, wondering where the hell they went wrong with raising us.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna suck you silly.
We just run around the neighborhood like a bunch of drunken idiots. You'd come back in your house late at night, sopping wet. Jesus Christ, you look like a soggy turd, you know that? Did you have fun out there?
Well, almost some, I guess.
You go to your friend's house the next day, their parents answer the door.
Can Michael come out and play?
No, he caught pneumonia last night. He's dead. Thanks a lot. But that was summer vacation. Sometimes you got hurt, sometimes you ended up dead. You go back to school in the fall, and the teacher's asking everybody if they had a good summer.
Yeah, we went to Mount Rushmore, and we got a puppy.
I'm over there. I got my arm in a sling with a black eye, looking like Mankind after a Hell in the Cell match. Well, for my summer, let's see. I got hit by a Volkswagen, I got stung 47 times by a bunch of bees, and 3 of my friends died from exposure. So no, not quite as good as Mrs. Mount Rushmore puppies over there. Alright, I've had my fair share of psychopath teachers growing up, but I think my 6th grade math teacher takes the cake. He had a little bit of an anger problem, and on the surface you wouldn't see it. If you seen him in public, you'd be like, oh, look at that guy. He likes Pringles and Miller Lite probably, alright. But if you were a stupid kid in his math class, well, you got to see it firsthand, because he hated stupid children, which is unfortunate because he teaches 6th grade math. He's surrounded by stupid children. All it took is one stupid question and he'd flip his shit.
Mr. Roberson, does the percent sign go before or after a number?
Anybody else got any stupid fucking questions? Huh? Anybody? I got 29 more bullets here. He was the first teacher I ever heard swear in class, which can be a little jarring the first time you hear it in a school setting. It's the order of operations, Daniel. You can suck my ass if you think subtraction comes before parentheses. What kind of simple bitch are you? Jesus Christ. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Something's not right here. You're a teacher. You're supposed to say happy words. You just had a lot of pent-up frustration. If you could just lay into the occasional kid, just maybe like an uppercut, knock one out every once in a while. But no, this isn't the 1930s, where if a kid gets a wrong answer, you can, like, push a bookshelf on him or something. He'd always intentionally try to find the most nervous kid, too. Make them answer problems on the board, just so he can make you look like a babbling idiot in front of the whole class. Hey, Billy, why are you sweating so much? You're freaking everybody out. Why don't you tell us what you have for problem 3?
12?
Yeah, hi, school nurse. If I have Billy pee in a cup, can you give him a drug test? Because he's obviously smoking crack if he thinks the answer's 12. I'm pretty sure he'd just go home at night, crack open 15 beers, and just drink until he couldn't feel anymore. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Honey, dinner's done. I made your favorite, cigarettes and Xanax. How was work today?
Fucking kids can't learn how to add fractions, Sharon. God damn it! And sometimes he wouldn't just spaz out on one kid. Sometimes he'd spaz out in the entire class. Like if we were sitting there and he was trying to teach us a new concept, and we were just not getting it, and he's just looking at our blank faces, knowing that not a single goddamn word he's saying sinking in. What the hell's he talking about? This is worse than long division. So one of his favorite things to do was make us copy things out of the math book that we had. All right, little assholes, since you can't comprehend anything except your goddamn Pokemon cards, why don't you get your math books out and copy pages 4 to 96? So we'd have to sit there and like sketch the actual page in the math book. Like the diagrams, the page numbers, the fucking copyright information in the front of the book. But I've never seen him as mad as the day he flipped out on my friend Corey. We're sitting there one day, learning how to add fractions or some shit, and Corey's over there fucking off all day in class like he always does, which makes him a prime candidate to be made an example of by Mr. Roberson. Hey Corey, take your dick out of your hand and tell me what answer you have for the problem on the board.
Oh man,
Just add the numerators together, Corey. It's not that hard.
numerators?
Which number's the numerator, Corey?
The bottom one?
Motherfucker!
Oh God, he's gonna kill me!
It's simple goddamn addition, Corey. There are first graders who can't even wipe their ass proper. I could do this right now.
I don't know the answer.
Can you wipe your ass properly, Corey?
Not really, no.
Corey, get your shit and go up to your first grade teacher and see if she'll let you sit in there and learn.
Are you serious?
Get the fuck out of my classroom! Now, if we all weren't scared shitless, we would have been losing it right now. Because the look on Corey's face was priceless. So sure as shit, Corey marched up to his first grade teacher's class to sit with a bunch of 6-year-olds to learn basic addition and how to wipe your ass properly.
Mr. Roberson sent me up here to learn. Oh, and to ask you why you can't do your fucking job right.
Now maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit on how psychopathic he was. He didn't shoot anybody with an M16. But if I am, I'm telling you right now, it's not by much. He was a psychopath, and his teaching methods were a little unorthodox, borderline abusive, you know, whatever. But I tell you what, I learned some goddamn mathematics, that's for goddamn sure. Alright, when I was a kid, Blockbuster was a special place to me. It wasn't just an abandoned building where people shoot smack at like it is today. No, back then it was a haven for all your video game and movie rental needs. Now, my family didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, so when we went to Blockbuster, it was a huge deal. I'd be like, holy hell, we're going to Blockbuster? What is it, my birthday? Did we put our house up for a second mortgage? What the hell's the occasion, Mom and Dad? It was like a mini vacation for me. I'd like get my picture taken there and make like a photo album.
My vacation to Blockbuster. Here's me and the cashier. Here's the parking lot. Here's the syringe I found in the parking lot.
Now, my most memorable visit to Blockbuster had to be the time that I got
Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64.
I remember my friend Michael telling me about this Pokemon Stadium game.
Dude, it looks so real. I thought a goddamn Charizard was gonna hop out of the screen and snatch up my little sister.
Wow. I was like, hell yes, give me some of that shit. Because this was a big deal. It's Pokemon in 3D, for Christ's sake. This was right around the time where kids were selling their bodies on the street for Pokemon cards. So, a few days later, a Christmas miracle happens, and we got to go to Blockbuster. So we pull up, I get out of the car, I'm prancing through the parking lot like a Las Vegas showgirl, and I waltz into the video game section, and of course, every goddamn copy of that Pokemon Stadium's gone. There's like a tumbleweed bouncing across the floor, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm gonna get stuck with Pilot Wing 64 or some shit like I always do. Nobody wants to play Pilot Wings, what the hell is that shit? But on that day, the Lord Almighty decided to throw me a bone. Let the boy have his Pokemon! I check up front to see if, on the off chance, a copy might have been returned and not put on the shelf yet, and lo and behold, there it was. Boom, I got it, score. But we're not out of the woods yet, because now I gotta listen to my dad argue with the cashier about our triple-digit late fees that we've acquired over the years, because my dad never returned anything on time. We'd have movies out for weeks, they'd have like my dad's picture hanging on the wall, you'd have to like sneak in wearing disguises and shit.
Yeah, it says you guys had Chitty Chitty Bag Bag for, 36 days.
Okay, look, I'll give you $2 to put towards the late fee, all right? That's all I got.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do better than that.
Oh, for Christ's sake, what do you got in your pockets?
I got a Skittle.
$2 and a Skittle, how about that?
Well, if that's all you guys can pay, you're gonna have to pick something a little shittier to rent, okay? You got Pokemon Stadium here. I mean, that's Pokemon in 3D, for Christ's sake. I can rent you like a Steven Seagal movie. Or this one, Air Bud plays racquetball.
Oh, you can kiss my ass with Air Bud. I'm not getting an Air Bud movie, you hear me? So somehow, my dad talked our way into getting Pokemon Stadium that night. It might have been through sheer violence. I don't know. I don't remember. But I did get it. I do remember sitting in the back seat, spazzing out like an idiot. Holy hell. I can't wait to get home and fight my fake animals against each other. I got home, and I played that game for like 16 hours straight. I didn't eat. I was like shitting in a bucket in my room. Like I said, it's Pokemon in 3D. What a time to be alive. So a week goes by, and I still have the game. Now, either my dad forgot to take the game back, or he just didn't care. Probably both, if we're honest with each other. Either way, I wasn't telling him. I was gonna ride this wave for as long as I could. Another week goes by, and then a month goes by. Eventually, we get a letter in the mail from Blockbuster, and they're all like, hey, you better give us our shit back, or we're gonna do something about it. Now, what that something is, I have no idea. They're gonna send a SWAT team to my house in the middle of the night, try to steal the game back. Where is it? Where's that Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64? Did you hide it in one of your Furbies? Cut open the Furby. My dad comes into my room like, hey, do you got a game from Blockbuster here? Some, Pokemon Stadium? What is it? Poketron Stadium? What the hell is it called? And I'm like, yeah, Dad, I've had it since like the 4th grade. I don't even know where it's at right now. I think you've been using it as a coaster for your beer the past couple weeks. I didn't really know what we were supposed to do at this point. We've had the game so long. Do we just drop it off in the middle of the night like we're abandoning a baby at a fire station? But to my surprise, my dad's like, oh well, to hell with it. Looks like we're keeping it. I was like, oh, hell yeah. We high-fived, confetti flew from the ceiling. Looks like I got a Pokemon Stadium for practically nothing. Years went by, and I kept that game. And you know what Blockbuster decided to do about it? Nothing. They closed. Netflix assassinated it. I still got that Pokemon Stadium. Now, sure, I guess we practically stole the game if you look at it that way. But I don't care. I'd do it again. And you know why? Because it's Pokemon in 3D, for Christ's sake. How many times do I gotta tell you? Alright, now when I was a kid, I was pretty good at the game Monopoly. And when I say I was pretty good, I mean I was really good. I was like the Stone Cold Steve Austin of Monopoly.
Give me a hell yeah!
I pretty much whip my friends' asses on a daily basis. Now, we would normally play over my friend Michael's house, even though his ass never had all the pieces to the game.
I only got the wheelbarrow and the iron, so somebody's gonna have to play as a Skittle.
And of course, since we were at his house, he always had to be the banker. And when you have somebody that blows ass at basic mathematics the way that Michael did, you really don't want him to be banker. The goddamn game takes long enough. Now with every transaction, you gotta wait 15 minutes while Michael's over there with his abacus trying to figure out how much change you get back. Now, my strategy of playing Monopoly has always been the same. You just buy every goddamn thing that you land on. Connecticut Avenue, buy it. Park Place, buy it. Roll your dice and buy whatever you land on.
But you're on Community Chest.
I don't give a damn, Michael. I'm buying it. I'm sitting there with my rainbow assortment of properties. Now, if anybody wants to trade, they have to trade with my greedy ass. And I'd always like to trade with Michael because he was super easy to rip off. He didn't know anything about anything. Hey, Michael, I'll trade you this sweet Mediterranean Avenue right here for $800 and your Scottie Pippen jersey.
That sounds like a deal.
Now, another strategy that I'd use was to always hide my money. It's nobody's goddamn business how many orange $500 bills I have stashed away. You put your money in your pocket, hide it in your shoe. Hell, shove it up your asshole if you're comfortable with it. Because there's nothing wrong with hiding a bunch of fake money in a body cavity. That's what the professionals do. Everybody else kept their money tucked under the board, just sitting there on display. You'd have David over there hoarding all his money like there's another Great Depression right around the corner. Then Michael, on the other hand, is going through all his money like a drug addict. It's 20 minutes into the game. All his properties are mortgaged. The only money he's pulling in is the random chance cards that he picks up.
Suck dick for money. Collect $15. Ooh, it's my lucky day.
Playing Monopoly with Michael was like playing Monopoly with a really smart dog. He didn't really know what was going on, but he was just happy to be there for the experience. David was my only real competition, but his ass was attention deficit. So it was only a matter of time before he was like, hey, you guys want to ride bikes? Let's ride bikes. I think I'm going to go ride a bike. Boom. He's gone. Just walks away in the middle of a game. Well, I guess it's just me and you, Michael. So I just try to end the game early, pull out my ass money, and I just plopped down as many houses and hotels that I could. Michael's sitting over there with electric company. He's got his thumb up his ass.
Can I build a house on electric company?
Well, no, Michael, that's stupid as hell. Second off, what are you gonna buy a house with your crumpled up $7 over there? So I'd have half the board covered in hotels, but somehow we'd end up playing for another 2 hours because Michael would dodge every goddamn property of mine. He'd be staring down a whole row of my hotels. Somehow his ass would roll a 13 and go right past them all. Meanwhile, I'm landing on his stupid ass electric company every goddamn turn.
$36, cough it up.
Michael, I'm gonna key your name into your goddamn stepdad's car. He's hiding out in jail, doing anything he can to stay there as long as possible. He's shanking prison guards and shit.
I'm not going back outside. I'm not touching those hotels.
Then when his ass finally did go bankrupt, he'd end up going bankrupt on something stupid like luxury tax. Oh my god, Michael, your ass is so sorry the goddamn Monopoly board beat you.
Aw, man, it was neck and neck. I was about to make a comeback.
Michael, your ass was on welfare for 75% of the game. What are you talking about? He'd get all mad, flip the board, and he'd go run downstairs and tell on me. Yeah, that's right, he'd tell on me for beating his ass at Monopoly. That's the kind of kid Michael was.
He didn't let me win, and then he said I was on welfare, and then I went bankrupt on luxury tax.
Wait, what? You went bankrupt on luxury tax? What kind of loser goes bankrupt on luxury tax? Get your ass in your room. You're grounded for 2 weeks. How goddamn embarrassing. Bankrupt on luxury tax. All right, now, I was a pretty good kid in school. I didn't get into too much trouble, just kind of minded my own business most of the time. But I did get suspended in high school once. I was a junior, and I was in my 6th hour class, Mrs. Stopola's Design and Color. It was a painting class that focused on design and color, I guess. Obviously, I didn't pay too much attention because here I am, drawing crap hole stick figures for the internet. I'm no Michelangelo, painting the Sistine Chapel, that's for sure. So I'm sitting there, just making a mockery of whatever project we're working on, and I'm a complete mess. I got like white paint all over my pants, like I was an odd one out of a bukkake. And there was this girl sitting next to me, Kayla, and she was staring at the mess that I made on my pants. Now, I thought she was just staring at my booty, my derriere, the old caboose, if you will. So naturally, I said, Kayla, stop staring at my ass. And right when I said it, the teacher, from all the way across the goddamn room, she's like, excuse me! My head pops up. There's no way she's talking to me, right? How the hell did she hear me? What, does she got a goddamn buffalo horn held up to her head, picking up the subtlest of frequencies like a Soviet spy? What the hell?
Excuse me, what did you say?
I said, Kayla, stop staring at my ass. I said it proudly, like I'm not in the wrong here. It's obviously Kayla's fault. She's the pervert staring down my crack. What do you want from me? I mean, it's just the word ass. An ass can be an animal, for Christ's sake. It's a donkey. Sorry, Mrs. Stopola. Let me fix this for you. Kayla, stop staring at my donkey. There, is that better? No? Yeah, that actually sounds worse, doesn't it? Shit.
Go down to the dean's office, young man. We don't use that language here.
So I walk out of the classroom. Everybody's looking at me like I'm Charlie Manson all of a sudden.
Oh my god, he said the A word. He's the devil!
So I go to the dean's office, and our dean was a guy named Mr. Haldwell. He's this bald guy that was like 5'4". I could never tell how old he was. He was like somewhere between the ages of 29 and 68, and he had the shiniest head I've ever seen on a man. Now, Mr. Haldwell was an asshole. There's no way around it. That's part of his job. He's there to be an asshole to kids because those kids were being assholes in the first place. Fair enough. And he'd call everyone baby boy when he was talking to them, which just made about everybody on the planet uncomfortable.
What brings you down here, baby boy?
Could you not call me that, please?
Wait, don't tell me. You said ass, right?
And I'm like, oh, Christ, is that what I'm known for now? I'm the ass kid? What a reputation. So right off the bat, I get suspended from school for a day. But not only that, I also have to go down to the lunchroom and help clean up. So there I was, got a goddamn hairnet on, I'm pushing a garbage can around.
Whoa, why's Tyler dressed up like a lesbian? I don't know, that's weird.
Are you finished with your tater tots?
Allow me.
I have a foul mouth, and this is my penance. Now, it's worth noting that this suspension wasn't a normal suspension. It was a little bit worse. I didn't get to stay home at school the next day and watch Young and the Restless with my mom on TV. No, instead I had to go to a church that was down the street from my school and sit in the basement all day with a police officer. And it wasn't just me, there were a bunch of other derelicts there. Just a bunch of psychopaths all crammed into a room. They all got like dirt mustaches and eye patches and shit. So they make you sit there all day, and they force you to do these behavioral worksheets. They ask you pretty simple questions like, little Timmy is being bullied in class. What should little Timmy do about that? A, tell the teacher, or B, set the coat room on fire. And I got this weird kid the whole time sitting next to me trying to talk to me.
Hey you! I never seen you here before. What did you do?
I told somebody to stop staring at my donkey. My ass, I mean, my ass. What about you?
Oh, I just filled my locker with a bunch of dead puppies. Anyways, hey, what did you get for question number 1? I was thinking it's A, but all these voices in my head keep telling me it's B.
I'm like, you know what? I don't need to make any friends here. I have enough friends in life. I'm gonna stop talking to people. So I sat there and did my worksheet, and I turned it in. And you know what they did? They gave me another one. Holy hell, how many of these do I gotta do? Enough to fix your brain! Okay, well, I think I got a pretty normal brain, alright? I'm not like Jeffrey Dahmer over here, starting a puppy holocaust in his locker. This was one of the longest goddamn days of my life. I just sat there all day, stared at the clock, listening to the psycho stick next to me mumble to himself. Even the cop over there is uncomfortable. He's got like his gun out on the desk, just so everybody can see it. Finally, it's 3:15. We're allowed to leave. I'm overjoyed.
Oh, yeah, we get to leave? I don't have to talk to a parole officer or anything? I'm out of here?
Oh, sweet! I show up to my art class the next day, and I am on my best behavior. I'm not going back to jail, goddammit. I'm over there talking like an English gentleman from here on out.
I beg your pardon, Kayla, but if you could avert your eyes from the crevice of my rump, I would just be overjoyous for your patronage.
What are you talking about? It means I'd appreciate it if you'd stop staring at my ass crack, okay?
Excuse me?
Oh, god damn it! Alright, now, I never had a little brother growing up, but my buddy Steven did. And what I've gathered over the years is that being a little brother sucks ass. I mean, technically, I myself am a little brother. I do have a sister 8 years older than me, but that's different. I had the house to myself when I was a kid. She was out in the streets, smoking cigarettes and stealing cars. Steven's little brother, Matthew, had it a little different than I did. He was like Steven's own little personal punching bag. He'd just be standing there, Steven would walk over and just pop him in the belly. I'd be like, whoa, what did you do that for? Because I don't like the look on his fucking face, that's why. Oh man, that is awesome. You got somebody's ass you can beat whenever you want. Never mind the Nintendo 64, Mom and Dad. I want a little brother for Christmas. You get shit on constantly when you're a little brother. You don't have any of your own clothes. You're over there wearing the same Jabberjaw t-shirt your brother used to wear 2 years ago. You never get to be the first player in video games. You get stuck with a shitty Mad Catz controller with the A button sticks. That sucks ass. Now if you're feeling bad for little Matthew over there, don't. He did plenty of shit to deserve everything that happened to him. He was a weird kid who did weird things. One time I was staying the night at their house, and I woke up in the morning, and Matt was over there pissing in a 2-liter bottle, right in the middle of his living room. What the hell kind of weird Buffalo Bill shit is this?
I'm peeing in this Mountain Dew bottle.
Yeah, I see that. Why the hell are you doing that? I don't know. The kid had a weird fetish for pissing in places that shouldn't be pissed in. I don't know why, it's just something that he did. One day, we were playing hide and seek, and me and Matt were hiding under his mom's minivan. Well, this looks like a good place to piss now, doesn't it? He just leans over on his side and starts peeing all over the place. Dude, what are you doing? We're playing hide and seek, goddammit. Now, granted, I know this is a damn good hiding spot. If Anne Frank would have hid under this damn minivan, she'd probably still be with us, now wouldn't she? But holy hell, if you gotta pee, go inside and pee. I'm not your pee pal. We're not that far in our friendship for us to be pissing under vans together. So I went inside to tell his mom. I'm like, hey, your son's peeing all willy-nilly underneath your minivan.
He's doing what?
So since he had his weird pissing habits, we would make sure to get him back when he'd fall asleep. And he was always the first one to fall asleep during sleepovers. He was a real easy target. We'd do the old shaving cream trick. We put his hand in warm water, try to make him piss himself. But of course that never worked because he done pissed everywhere earlier that day. His tank was empty. He'd be passed out in the middle of the floor. We'd hover our ass an inch away from his face, let loose a big old fart point blank. He'd wake up the next morning, licking his lips and shit.
Why does my upper lip taste like somebody's asshole?
There's one time we hid in Matt's closet while he was sleeping, and we burst into his room, screaming, "Bees! Bees! Oh my god, they're everywhere!" Matt wakes up, completely delirious. He just starts screaming, "Ah!" He runs out the door right behind us, because he'll be damned if he's gonna get stung by a bunch of closet bees. Never mind the fact that bees in your closet is stupid as hell, doesn't make any sense. He's gotta get out of there. But with all that tormenting, sometimes I would switch sides and help Matt out. You gotta root for the underdog sometimes, even if he pisses all over everything like a Cocker Spaniel. So one day, Steven is taking a dump on the toilet. Unlike his brother, he's familiar with how a bathroom works. And Matt's over there with this giant stuffed animal, and he's like, I'm gonna throw this at him while he's pooping on the toilet. Matthew, that is a fantastic idea. He is totally vulnerable on the toilet right now. Now's the time to strike. If little Matt kicks the bathroom door open like a SWAT team looking for narcotics, the look on Steven's face is priceless. But he's not sitting on the toilet, no. He's standing there in mid-wipe, bare ass and all. Talk about a side of Steven that we never wanted to see before. Nobody wants to be seen wiping their ass. So Matt hurls this 4-foot-tall husky dog at him, and Steven's pants around his ankles so it knocks him over the toilet. Meanwhile, I keel over on the ground because this is the funniest goddamn thing I've ever seen. Today was Matt's day. He was making a statement to the world that little brothers can be player one, goddammit. The hell with the Mad Catz controller. Now, of course, that didn't last long. About 5 seconds later, Steven hobbles out there, not even done wiping his ass yet, just beats the hell out of Matt. But for one brief moment, little Matt had won. He had humiliated his older brother by putting his asshole on display and hitting him with a giant stuffed dog. Alright, so when I was a kid, Pokemon cards were a huge deal. Your status as a human being depended on what Pokemon cards you had. Look at this idiot's best card is a Weeping Bell. Everybody throw rocks at him. And I'm not talking about Pokemon cards that are out now where you got shit that looks like this. This shit would have exploded my 9-year-old brain back in 1999. 20 years ago, it was something basic like, bitch, what are you looking at? I'm a Pidgey. I got 40 HP. Ken Sugimori drew my ass. I got 1 attack. Let's go. Lots changed since then, apparently. I don't know. Now, first, I wasn't into Pokemon. All my friends were into it. I didn't understand it. You guys want to play with my Vortex football, or are you just gonna play with your stupid fake animals all day long? Fake animals! Yeah, fake animals for sure. Fuck your Vortex football. The only reason I got my first Pokemon card was because I won it in a bet with my next door neighbor. I'll bet you this Pokemon card that I can beat you in GoldenEye 64. Michael, I'll beat your ass 6 ways to Sunday in GoldenEye. I don't care if I gotta use the shitty Mad Catz controller. I'll play with that goddamn thing upside down and still whoop your ass. So I give Michael the business in GoldenEye with my Moonraker lasers. Now I got this Pokemon card that I didn't even want in the first place. I take this card over to my friend David to get it appraised. He's pretty much a Pokemon maniac at this point. He's got the Pokemon lunchbox and the Pokemon movie and the fucking Pokemon Pokédex that tells you Pokefacts about Pokemon. Snorlax has onset type 2 diabetes. Hey, is this Pokemon card any good? No, dude, I got like 50 of those. I practically wiped my ass with Nidorans. Oh, well, that figures. Thanks for nothing, Michael. Here, you can have some of my extra cards. They're a lot better. I think my cat pissed on these anyway, so here you go. So now I got my own little starter set of these pissy Pokemon cards. And something just clicks in my little 9-year-old dumb brain. You know, these things are kind of cool. I need to get as many fake animals as possible. I didn't even know what to do with them at first. I just sit there in my bedroom with all my cards laid out, just study them for hours, every little detail on every little card. So now, as a 28-year-old grown-ass man, I have all this information I don't know what to do with. Nope, I have no idea how to change oil in a car, but I can tell you that Meowth has 50 HP and his payday attack does 10 damage. Whoopity-doo. Now, as a kid, we didn't have a lot of money, so my parents weren't big on buying me Pokemon cards. What the fuck is it? Poketron. I'm not getting you any Pokemon cards. I just got you that John Elway football that you can throw into the fucking stratosphere. Why would I get you Pokemon cards? So if I wanted new cards, I'd have to trade my cards with other kids. And boy, did I hustle the hell out of my next door neighbor, Michael. I was like a shitty used car salesman when I'd trade with him. Michael, I'll trade you this sweet Onyx card for your Mr. Mime.
What? No way, that's a ripoff.
Michael, do you really want a sparkly pink Pokemon card? That card's for girls. Shit looks like it should be on a Lisa Frank folder, for Christ's sake. I'm offering you a fucking snake rock, Michael. You could shoot it with a rifle and it wouldn't blink an eye. But whatever, you keep your stupid little purple fucking fairy tale card, whatever.
Okay, wait a minute. I don't want a girl card. Here, you got a deal.
I once traded Michael 2 energy cards for a holographic Venomoth, and to this day, I'm still laughing about it. What a stupid bastard. But no matter how many Pokemon cards I ripped off of Michael, I still didn't have that sweet holographic Charizard. And that was the card to have. If you got a holographic Charizard, you practically made it in life. You're living at the top. Did you hear about Billy? No, what happened? He got a holographic Charizard and quit school the next day. He quit school? Well, yeah, what the fuck's he need school for? He's got a holographic Charizard, for Christ's sake. Now, none of our 9-year-old asses had a Charizard, but my friend Steven claimed that his dad had one. My dad's got a Charizard. Actually, he's got 2 of them. them. 2 Charizards? Yeah, the hell right. What are you talking about? What is your dad famous? Does he know Bill Clinton? How the hell could anybody have 2 Charizards? Now, I know it's a little weird, an adult playing with Pokemon cards, but it was actually kind of cool. He'd be whooping our ass on a daily basis, talking shit the whole time. Boy, you play Pokemon cards like you write in cursive. Like shit. Blastoise uses Hydro Pump. Get this shit out of here. God damn, your ass better find a foster home to live in if you keep playing Pokemon cards like this. He'd be drinking beers with his buddies in the garage. Yeah, beat my son's ass in Pokemon yesterday. Straight up used Rain Dance to power up my Blastoise Hydro Pump. His stupid ass Weedle didn't stand a chance. Bob, what the fuck are you talking about? But Steven's dad really did have 2 Charizards, and he was willing to part ways with one of them. I'll trade you one of these Charizards for that Clefairy of yours. Now, this Clefairy card was my first holographic Pokemon card. It's been with me since almost day 1.
We've been through so much together. I'm your ride or die. You wouldn't trade my cute ass, would ya?
Oh, you silly bitch, Clefairy. You bet your ass I'm gonna trade you.
Are you serious?
It's a goddamn Charizard. Don't let the door hit ya.
Oh no! Now I gotta live with this weird old guy. God damn it.
Hey, wait a minute. Why does this Clefairy smell like cat piss? I go to school the next day, show off my Charizard to everybody. There's kids getting their picture taken with me and shit. The teacher's giving me my high school diploma. Motherfucker's got a holographic Charizard, everybody. To this day, I still have that Charizard. I'm never gonna sell it, never gonna trade it. I keep it in my wallet because you never know when you're gonna have to talk your way out of a speeding ticket. Sir, you were doing 25 over in a school zone? Holy hell, is that a holographic Charizard? Oh, well, do whatever the fuck you want. I had no idea who I was dealing with. Alright, so I don't know if you guys ever played around with a chemistry set when you were a kid. I know it's not the 1930s. Chemistry sets aren't exactly all the rage these days. But growing up, my cousin David, he had a chemistry set. And for the record, he did have normal toys too. He didn't just have a bunch of toys from the Great Depression.
Hey, you guys want to play with my Tinker toys? I got this stick and a hoop that we can have fun with.
So we're in his room, and we crack open this chemistry set, and we're over there with our beakers and our test tubes, looking like a Nickelodeon version of Breaking Bad. There's all these vials of chemicals included, and we don't know anything about chemistry, and we're sure as hell not gonna read the instructions like some kind of loser. Look, I've watched a couple episodes of Beakman's World, alright? I practically have my PhD in chemistry, for Christ's sake. You can't even pronounce the names, half the chemicals we're using. Potassium pomegranate. Potassium pomegranate, yeah, that's it. Sounds pretty tasty. Gulp, gulp, gulp. So we decided to do what any kids would do, and we mixed all the chemicals together in one beaker. I'm not sure what we were trying to accomplish.
We're about to find a cure for cancer with this $12 chemistry set.
No, we sure as hell didn't make that. But what we did make was the color blue. Ooh, fancy. We're breaking some new ground here. Somebody publish us in a scientific journal. Ladies and gentlemen, I've gathered you all here today to announce that at our state-of-the-art laboratory, also known as David's bedroom, we have figured out how to create the color blue.
Oh my god.
They're geniuses! Somebody get them a medal! So there we are, standing there with our blue concoction. We're not really sure what to do with it.
Maybe if we drink it, we could turn into an X-Men.
Yeah, or maybe we'll get diarrhea for a week. Not really something I want to gamble on. So we get bored with it, and we take our stupid blue potion and just dump it out in the middle of David's driveway. Well, imagine to our surprise that this puddle of blue starts to stain the driveway. So David starts flipping out because his dad's gonna be home from work soon. He's gonna get home, see this big-ass blue stain in the driveway, and he's gonna lose his goddamn mind.
Wait, Dad, I can explain.
Because David's dad loves his driveway. His favorite room in the whole house was the garage. And the driveway is like the front yard of the garage. He wants to keep it looking nice. There's one time we were shooting bottle rockets down the driveway like a couple of assholes, and David's dad came out and yelled at us. But he didn't yell at us for shooting bottle rockets at people's houses. No, he yelled at us because we were doing it in his precious driveway.
Oh, what the hell? Don't be doing that in the driveway. Go blow your hands up in the street or something.
So at this point, David goes and gets the garden hose, and he starts spraying the blue puddle with water. But this doesn't help, it just spreads it around. Now the whole goddamn driveway's blue. Holy hell, David, you are gonna die. Your driveway's Smurf blue, for Christ's sake. It's a pretty unique color for a driveway. Makes a pretty great landmark if you're giving somebody directions to your house. So when you turn down that street, just keep going until you see the stupid-ass cotton candy blue driveway. You really can't miss it. So in sheer panic, David runs in his house and grabs a bottle of dish soap off the counter. Now both of us are on all fours in the driveway with a bottle of palm olive, scrubbing away like little orphan Annie. But this isn't working either. And you know why? Because dish soap works on dishes, not on blue driveways. It even says on the bottle, for Christ's sake. Well, what the hell are we supposed to do now? Maybe we can camouflage it somehow. You know, just like park a bunch of bikes and scooters out there. Maybe set the bushes on fire. That'll draw his attention, right? Nope, too late. David's dad pulls up in front of the house. We just stand there in the front yard, accepting our fate. David's over there. He's got a blindfold on and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. His dad walks up. He takes one look at us, and then he looks over to his stupid aquamarine driveway. Then he looks back at us, and he's like,
David and the boys, what are you guys doing out here?
Nothing.
You guys want some hot dogs?
Yeah, hot dogs sound good.
All right, I'm gonna make some hot dogs.
And then he just walked away. He never said anything about the driveway. What the hell was that all about? You seen the driveway, right? There's no way you can miss it. See this damn thing from outer space. What the hell happened? Maybe David's dad just didn't feel like dealing with our bullshit that day. Or maybe he just wanted some hot dogs. I don't know. But what I do know is David's driveway did turn back to normal after a couple of days. It didn't turn into some stupid national landmark like we thought it was gonna.
It's amazing. Take my picture with it.
So David probably knocked 10 years off his lifespan that day from sheer anxiety, thinking he was about to get murdered by his own dad. But instead, we got to eat hot dogs.
Get your red hots.
Talk about a happy ending.
When I was in 4th grade, my school had a bomb threat. I guess somebody just called the office and was like,
Hey, I got a bomb. I got a bomb and I'm gonna blow this mother up. You better watch it.
which is not something a lot of elementary schools like to hear. And I can remember just sitting there in the morning, just daydreaming about whatever 4th graders daydream about. I wonder if the Red Power Ranger could beat up my dad. And our teacher gets off the phone with the office, and he's like, all right, everybody just calm down. There's a little bit of confusion in the building, but I'm sure everything will be just fine.
Oh my God, there's a bomb in the building! We're all gonna die!
Any questions? So, at this point, you could practically smell all the poop in everybody's pants. We got kids raising their hands, asking questions. Mr. Jones, do you think it'll hurt when we get blown up into a million tiny pieces? And I didn't really know what to expect at first. You know, I'm 9 years old. I'm picturing like an old-fashioned bowling ball bomb from old cartoons. I'm going around checking the fucking coat room like, it's probably that goddamn Miner 49er. He keeps giving Scooby-Doo a lot of troubles. And at this point, everybody's talking about this bomb threat. We're on the goddamn news. We got teachers on top of the building doing smoke signals. And all of a sudden, I realize everybody's parents are picking them up from school. Kids are disappearing left and right all around me. And I'm sitting there like, man, I got a sneaking suspicion I'm gonna get fucked here. Where the hell are my parents at? Well, my dad's probably at work, but my mom's probably in the living room right now doing fucking aerobics. Just totally oblivious to the shit that's going down right now. Meanwhile, the goddamn Goodyear blimps circling around the city, letting everybody know that their kids are about to get blown up to smithereens. So I figured, to hell with it. I'm just gonna leave. There's a goddamn bomb in the building, who cares? Where the hell do you think you're going? I figured I'd just take off. Oh, no you don't. Did your parents sign a permission slip for you to leave? No, but I'm pretty sure they didn't sign one for me to get blown the fuck up either. So I'm stuck there, and an hour goes by, and there's 4 of us left in the entire 4th grade. We got weirdo Julie, Christopher, the biggest idiot in the school, attention deficit Zachary, and of course myself. Just what I was hoping for today. Hanging out with a team of mutants and a slight chance of getting murdered. Sweet. We're all just staring at each other. Hey, why are you still here? Probably because my parents don't love me. What about you? So since they can't let us go home, they just keep us in this room and they put on a movie. Oh, sweet, we get to sit here and watch fucking All Dogs Go to Heaven. Yeah, I'm sure that'll take my mind off of death. Mr. Jones, I got a question. I know all dogs go to heaven, but do all 4th graders go too?
Oh, Chris. I guess we'll find out soon enough now, won't we? Now shut up, you're scaring the shit out of all your friends.
This was by far the longest day of my 9-year-old life. I spent the whole day just sitting there, writing my last will and testament. Alright, I'll leave my sweet Barry Sanders poster to David. And my holographic Charizard will go to... fuck it. Nobody's getting my goddamn Charizard. I'm gonna get buried with that son of a bitch. When I finally got home from school, my parents still didn't know what the hell was going on.
Hey, guess where I've been all goddamn day?
At school? Well, yeah, but you're lucky I didn't get my ass blown up by a bomb in class. What are you talking about?
Oh no, fuck you guys.
I'm gonna go in my room and watch Speed Racer until I feel like coming back out. Why don't you go jazzercise some more, Mom, with your unassuming ass?
I had a weird obsession with guns when I was a kid. I loved guns. In second grade, I would draw like every single gun in GoldenEye 64 in my notebook. Just scare the shit out of all my teachers.
Why don't you try drawing something nice, like a rainbow or a bunny rabbit?
Yeah, I'll draw a fucking bunny rabbit. I'll draw a goddamn bunny rabbit with a sweet-ass AK-47. What do you think about that? Yeah, nice try, lady. I'm fucking gun crazy, okay? I got a gun lunchbox. I got gun pajamas. I got fucking gun toothpaste. Now, along with all that stuff, I had a complete armory of toy guns. But my friend David, he had the best toy gun collection I've ever seen in my life. He had fucking metal ones that were all lifelike with the fucking serial number filed off of them. And at the other end of the spectrum was my friend Michael, who had the shittiest guns known to man. He would have like a broken squirt gun or a fucking eaves trough. A fucking stick in the shape of a gun. That was his favorite. It wasn't his fault, though. He had a stepdad, so all of his family's money went towards Marlboro Reds or Natty Light. But anyways, what we would do with all these toy guns is we would play a game called Guns. You might have called it Cops and Robbers or Cowboys and Indians, but we just called it fucking Guns. Everybody would pick their own character. Okay, I'm gonna be James Bond. I'm gonna be Walker, Texas Ranger. I'm gonna be Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Well, you can't be fucking Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. He's a fucking ninja, Michael. That doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna be Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg's a fucking wrestler. Fuck it. Be Bill Goldberg. I don't care. And after that, I would make up a story that would go along with our characters. Okay, I'm gonna be the grizzled fucking veteran cop that's had enough and is about to retire. You be the rookie with a big chip on his shoulder. And you be the serial rapist. Just rape all day long. And we just run around in the neighbor's yard, shooting at each other, fucking screaming shit.
Get him! Get the raper! Get the raper!
Yeah, well, the neighbors peeking out of their windows. And we all would make our own noises for our guns when we would shoot them.
Bang, bang! Boom, boom!
And that's how we'd play all day. We never knew when it would end, but I could tell you how it would end every time.
I fucking shot you, Michael!
No, you didn't.
I shot you!
Nuh-uh,
Lay down!
no,
I
you
shot
missed.
you in the head!
You missed. You weren't
Lay
even
down.
close to me. That
Fucking
doesn't.
shot
no.
you, goddamn
You
it.
missed. You totally missed me.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, fuck them. Let's go play Sega Genesis. All right, I think it's safe to say that middle school was a pretty rough time for most people. Chances are you didn't have a lot going on for you when you were 12 years old. You probably had braces back then, puberty was hitting you like a ton of bricks, or maybe you were the lucky cool kid that could finally grow a little dirt mustache to brag about. I look like Burt Reynolds. Or perhaps you were the weird goth kid in class. I'm not cleaning my room, Mom and Dad, because I'm a sad, brooding little bastard, and my heart is an ocean of sadness. Oh, by the way, it's pizza day today. Can I have $2? But for me personally, middle school marked what I would like to call my spiky hair phase. And that consisted of me slathering a bunch of LA Looks hair gel into my head and then spiking my hair up so that it resembled the ass of a porcupine. And you had to be careful because it was like having a lethal weapon on the top of your head. If you're screwing around, you accidentally trip in the hallways, all of a sudden you're getting charged with second-degree manslaughter and shit. Now, I have to say that my first day of middle school did not go as well as I wanted it to. I mean, it started off pretty good. I hopped off the bus looking fresh as hell. I'm wearing my finest Limp Bizkit t-shirt. My hair is nice and dangerous. My goddamn trapper keeper's the size of a small child. I was all set to go. But since this was a new school, I had no idea where the hell I was going. I'm wandering around the hallways looking for my first class, clueless as hell. Is this room 208? Kid, this is the fucking bathroom. Can you not talk to me while I have my dick in my hand? I'm asking random people in the hallway. Hey, do you know where room 208 is? I have no idea, kid. I'm the janitor. I'm drunk as hell right now. So now I'm starting to panic, and it's the type of panic that gives you nightmares later on in life. Where the hell is room 208? So now I'm running down the hallway like I'm in a goddamn Jason Statham movie, and just when I'm about to get to the classroom, I trip over my own feet and eat shit in the hallway. My giant trapper keeper soars through the air and smokes a bunch of children. I go to stand up, and that's when I realize I totally just ripped a big-ass hole in the crotch of my pants. There's teachers peeking out of their classroom and shit. Wow, who the hell still wears whitey-tighties? I don't know, but I can see that kid's balls right now, and I sure don't like it. But now I have to use my big-ass trapper keeper as a shield to guard my crotch for the rest of the day. Okay, not a great way to start your middle school career. So let me give you a brief summary of a few classrooms that I went to on that first day of middle school. Class number 1, American history taught by Mr. Banks. Now, Mr. Banks was old as hell, which is probably why he taught American history because, well, he was alive for 2/3 of it. He was so old that back when he first started teaching, they were still allowed to hit kids in the ass with wooden paddles. Hell, he even had his wooden paddle up on display in front of the classroom. Yeah, you little bastards sure do have it easy these days. Back in my day, if a kid fucked up a spelling test, I could knock him upside the head with a 2x4. Class number 2, algebra, taught by Mrs. Salo. Now, Mrs. Salo was also old as hell, just not old enough to beat up children back in the day and get away with it. Instead, she would beat kids over the head with mathematics. I mean, this was our first dose of algebra as a kid. Our 12-year-old brains couldn't comprehend it. Mrs. Salo, are you drunk or something? Why the fuck are you putting letters in mathematics? Class number 3, lunch. All right, not really a class, but I don't give a damn. Now, the lunchroom was ran by a guy named Mr. Watson. And Mr. Watson was a weird dude. He wore a purple suit, he had a jerry curl that was absolutely flawless, and he was the size of a goddamn Megazord. This dude was like 6'7". There was a rumor that he used to be an offensive lineman for the Indianapolis Colts. Now, whether that was true or not, I don't know, because there was also a rumor that he beat up a goddamn Kodiak brown bear. And I don't even know what Mr. Watson did at the school. He wasn't a teacher. It was like they just pulled some guy off the street like, hey, you're a very large man. Can you scare the shit out of a bunch of 12-year-olds so they behave in the lunchroom? Yeah, I can do that. So you just stand in front of the classroom with a microphone. All right, you kids, I want you to quiet down, damn it. This ain't an episode of Soul Train. Quiet down. Episode of Soul Train? What the hell is that? I don't know, dude. Shut up. You want to end up like that goddamn Kodiak brown bear? Class number 4, English class, taught by Mr. Delato. Now, there's no two ways about it. Mr. Delato was just purely insane. He was like the cross of Mr. Clean and a drunk homeless guy that had a concussion. That was Mr. Delato. He'd sit up at his desk and talk to himself. I don't know what we're gonna do today. What are we gonna do today? Anybody know what we're gonna do today? I don't know what we're gonna do today. Is this guy possessed by the devil? What the hell is going on? He'd throw erasers at kids that weren't paying attention. You over there, can you tell me what a preposition is? A what? Now, since I stood out because of my stupid-ass haircut back then, it didn't take long for Mr. Delato to call on me. Hey, you over there with the hair. Who, me? Yeah, you tall hair. Hey, you look like that guy on TV that sells meat sticks. The who? You know the guy on TV with the meat stick? He goes, eat me. You know the guy. Now, nobody knew what the hell Mr. Delato's incoherent ass was talking about. But apparently, he was talking about the guy that does the Slim Jim commercials. Oh, yeah, snap into a Slim Jim. No, not Macho Man Randy Savage. I mean, this weird guy.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Eat me.
So apparently to Mr. Delato, my hair didn't look like a porcupine's ass. It looked like a goddamn beef stick. Go ahead and say what the beef stick guy says on TV. Say, eat me. No, I'd rather not do that. Go in front of the whole classroom and yell, eat me, goddammit! So there I am in front of my 7th grade class, crotchless, about to recite a goddamn TV commercial. Eat me! Louder, and with more enthusiasm. Eat me! Somebody kill me, please! Now the whole class is losing their shit. Wow, who the hell still wears whitey tighties? I don't know, but I can see that kid's balls right now, and I sure don't like it. So needless to say, when I got home from school that day, that LA Looks hair gel went straight into the garbage, and my ass never spiked my hair again. So the next time you think you were awkward or weird in middle school, just be glad you didn't become Slim Jim's new 12-year-old crotchless mascot. Step into a Slim Jim! Eat me! All right, 6th grade. 6th grade was a big deal because you got to go to 6th grade camp. 6th grade camp meant that you got 5 days out in the middle of the woods where you eat corn dogs and you go swimming. Except we didn't go swimming because it was fucking December when we went. It's 8 degrees outside, snow on the ground and shit. Yeah, put the public school kids out there, fuck them. We get shipped out there right before winter vacation in our little buses. We get sorted into cabins. We get our own little cabin leader, and our cabin leader was a guy named Craig, some hungover college kid that they put in charge of watching 12 children. Well, after talking to Craig, we found out that he knew David's older sister from school. Oh yeah, I know that chick. Hey David, guess what? Craig banged your sister. Whoa, wait a minute, we're just friends. He said he almost couldn't be our cabin leader because he's too busy banging your sister's brains out. Now, it being December and all, there wasn't really much to do besides pee your name in the snow and try not to freeze to death. They're out there giving us tours of the campground. And right here, underneath this 8 feet of snow, we have something called a lake. A lake is where all the rich kids go to have fun during the summer. And over here, we have a water slide. Water slide's a thing where rich kids have fun during the summer. First day there, we had a wilderness survival class because that's what a bunch of city kids need. Look, buddy, the only thing I need to know how to survive is watching a Cosby Show marathon in my beanbag chair, all right? I'm not looking for the fucking Blair Witch, for Christ's sake. The guy teaching the class, he didn't even want to be there. Pretty sure he didn't know shit about survival at all. All right, the first thing to do when you're out in the woods is to make a house, but like out of trees and shit. Like a shelter? Yeah, shelter, yeah, that's it. Could this be my shelter? Hey, look, there's some berries on the ground. All you kids can eat that. Those are rabbit turds. Are you gonna let me do my job or what? Eat the shit. Protein. The one good thing about camp, though, was the food. You pretty much have an open buffet for you to shove your face in. We'd all be outside, lined up in front of the lunchroom, huddled together like we're in fucking Valley Forge. Can you let us in before we start boiling our shoes and eating them? But before you could go in the lunchroom, they'd make you sing songs, you know, outside in December when it's 8 fucking degrees outside, and all you want to do is go inside and eat a goddamn fruit by the foot because you had to listen to Johnny Wilderness all day teaching you how to eat rabbit turds.
Okay, everybody, you ready to sing? We're gonna do the shark song. Ready? Baby shark, do 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 do. Baby shark, do 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 do. I can't hear you guys. Come on.
Bitch, there's a dead kid over here. Let us in the goddamn building. So if you survived that, you got to go inside and eat. And you could eat as much as you wanted, as long as you ate it all. That was the rule. Because if you made it through a whole day without any leftover food, you got a prize. Now what that prize is, I'll never fucking know. Because we had kids like Josh over there who'd scurry out 9 corn dogs under his armpits. Like he's got to feed a family of 9 back at the table. He'd be at like 7.5 corn dogs, struggling, sweating.
Oh, God. I'm gonna rip my Lee dungarees if I eat any more.
I swear to God, Josh, you better eat that goddamn corn dog. Never pass up on a corn dog. Take my goddamn word for it. I'd say it was right about this time, you know, the 3rd day or so at camp, where I had a thought come to me. When was the last time I took a dump? Hey, David, when was the last time I took a shit? Why would I know that? Well, fuck me, David. I don't know because you're my best friend and best friends are supposed to keep track of that kind of stuff. What kind of best friend are you? I've been at camp all week, eating like Winston Churchill. I haven't went doo-doo caca not one single time. I should be dead. There should be a no vacancy sign hanging off my ass, for Christ's sake. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. Hey, sister fucker, how do you make yourself poop if you don't have to poop? What? What am I supposed to do, Craig? I'm gonna explode any minute now. Dear Mom and Dad, it's been at least 4 days since I felt the joy of a turd leaving my anus. I believe I may be a wizard of some sort. We've already called Guinness World Records. They said they weren't interested. I'm in constant fear that the slightest cough or sneeze might suddenly awaken an avalanche of shit and kill the entire campground. Hope all is well, your son, the shit wizard. I didn't know what to do, but I tell you what I did. I just kept eating, like a pregnant person. Shoving it all in. If I go out, I'm going out with these mozzarella sticks. Hell yes. Finally, it's Friday. The week's over. The camping trip's done. My parents picked me up, and we decided to get Burger King on the way home. Well, if that wasn't the straw that broke the camel's little back. Take one bite of that Burger King, my stomach's like, and I'm like, oh God, it's happening! My mom rushes me to the bathroom like I'm about to go into labor.
Give me a midwife, anybody!
Let me tell you, that dump was something to be remembered. I was probably on there for a good 45 minutes, dealing with the earthquake shits. I get out of the bathroom, feeling unburdened. Holy hell, what the hell happened here? Looks like 6 grown men took a shit in here. Oh, for Christ's sake, somebody give me a shovel so I can chop this thing up so it'll flush. I was telling people at school how big that shit was the next week. They thought I was talking about a newborn baby.
It was 7 pounds, 4 ounces, and 22 inches long.
All right, now when I was a kid, I loved Halloween. You get to put on a costume, have strange men throw candy at you. What's not to love? You'd be sitting there in school, just waiting to get out of class so you could go trick-or-treating. I'm gonna eat so much candy tonight, I'm gonna be diabetic by tomorrow morning. So after school, all my friends would meet up at Michael's house. Michael's stepdad would be sitting there, talking shit about our costumes. What the hell are you supposed to be? Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp? No, I'm a goddamn vampire. Oh, what about your stupid friend there? What is he, some kind of cowboy pimp? No. I'm the Macho Man Randy Savage. All of a sudden, Michael walks in all dressed up.
You guys like my sweet Montel Williams costume?
God damn it, Michael. You've been Montel Williams the past 3 years. Get a new costume already. I'm not buying a new costume every year. What do I look like? I'm made of money? Besides, he likes being Montel Williams, don't you, Michael?
Yeah, I'm a talk show host. Who wants a paternity test?
So we head off to go trick-or-treating. My friend Steven looks like an idiot because it's 1997, and every goddamn kid in the neighborhood was the Scream Mask that year. Now, all of us had one goal in mind, and that was to get as much candy as possible. And Michael had the best strategy for getting the most candy. We'd go up to a house and he'd be like,
trick or treat! Oh, and today's my birthday too!
Oh, well, happy birthday! You get an extra piece of candy with your cute little Steve Harvey costume. Michael, what the hell? Your birthday's in August.
Yeah, so what? If you lie to people, they give you more candy.
So every house we went up to, Michael would just make something up.
Trick or treat! I have lupus.
Ah, sick! What the fuck? Lupus? Here, take an extra piece of candy. God damn it, Michael, stop telling people you have lupus. Now, I didn't lie to people because, well, I'm not a piece of shit like Michael was. But I did get extra candy when people liked my costume. Oh, sweet, look, it's Johnny Depp. I love What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Here's an extra piece of candy. But then you'd have some houses that only passed out nasty candy that nobody liked.
You guys like Smarties?
I got some Mary Janes here. Anybody want those? No, I'll just take this dog turd in your yard instead. Thanks anyways. Because nobody wants to eat that shit. It's disgusting. You try to trade all your nasty candy to your friends.
Anybody want to trade me for this box of Good and Plenties?
Michael, I'd rather eat out of somebody's asshole than eat a box of Good and Plenties.
Oh, come on, they're not that bad.
Nobody wants your goddamn Good and Plenties, Michael. I'd rather eat stuff under the kitchen sink than any of that black licorice bullshit. But the worst house on the street was this old lady that wouldn't pass out candy at all, but instead would give kids little orange Bibles to read. Do you got any Snickers instead?
Would you rather have Snickers or be saved from eternal damnation?
The Snickers.
Yeah, we'll take the Snickers. My soul isn't worth a damn anyways.
Now, we didn't want to just walk around our broke-ass neighborhood getting Mary Janes and Bibles all night, so we walked over to the rich neighborhood, where all the good stuff's at.
Holy hell, look at the size of this house. Is this where Batman lives?
What the hell are you guys supposed to be? The village people?
I'll be whatever the hell you want me to be if you give me candy.
They give us full-size candy bars and shit. We can't believe it. We're walking away mesmerized.
This is amazing. They gave me a full-size Kit Kat bar and I didn't even have to take my clothes off.
We all switch our costumes around, walk back up to the house and try to get another candy bar. You guys sure seem familiar.
Oh yeah, I'm the Macho Man. Oh, and I have hepatitis too.
Oh, sick. Get your hepatitis ass out of here. Finally, it's the end of the night. Our pillowcases are stuffed full. We're dragging them on the ground like we're trying to dispose of a dead body. We get back to Michael's house. His stepdad's over there half drunk. Well, goddamn, Elton John. That's a shit ton of candy you got there. Whoa, who gave you guys a full-size Kit Kat? They didn't make you guys take your shirt off for them, did they?
Oh, no, they didn't. Snap into a Slim Jim.
Well, Michael, your hyper ass ain't eating all this candy. I'm taking half of it.
Oh, what? Are you serious?
Damn right I'm serious. That's a stepdad tax. 50% of your candy. Don't be a baby. I left you all the good stuff anyways. Alright, now when I was a kid, I was a huge fan of wrestling. And what better way to celebrate your love for wrestling than wrestling your dumb, idiot friends in your neighborhood? I don't know if you could call it wrestling. It was more like just a bunch of 11-year-olds beating the hell out of each other. But we did the best we could. And to make matters worse, we did this in my friend David's front yard. So we were on full display in front of the whole neighborhood. There'd be people walking down the street. Oh my god, those kids are gonna hurt themselves. Oh well. But for a bunch of kids, we were actually pretty professional. I mean, we had like a referee, the cheap styrofoam championship belts you got from Kmart. Hell, we even had a boombox out there to play your entrance music.
Here, put my CD in and play track 5.
What the hell is this shit?
What are you guys looking at? It's the only CD I have. Austin 316. Give me a hell yeah.
So then once we were in the ring, or I mean the front yard, I guess, we would proceed to just beat the hell out of each other any way we could. And of course we would get hurt. I mean, hell, to this day I get back spasms because of the one time I tried to do a missile drop kick off the fence, God forbid, but it was worth it. You'd be out there trying to imitate your favorite wrestler. Mine, of course, was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Not this Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know who the hell this is. I'm talking this one, the old one. The Dwayne "Do You Smell What The Rock Is Cooking" Johnson. I'd be out there saying one-liners left and right.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Just bring it, you jabroni! There'd be people like walking their dog and shit.
Why's that 65-pound white kid keep calling himself The Rock?
I have no idea. And what the fuck is a jabroni? Now, of course, if you're a wrestler, you have to have your very own finishing move. And my finishing move was called the crippler crossface. And how you do the crippler crossface is, you yank back on somebody's head really hard until they tap out, or you snap their neck and you cripple them for life. Hence the name, the crippler crossface. And there was nobody I liked doing that move to more than my next door neighbor, Michael. Because Michael was a dirty fighter. He would trip you and shit, spit on your face while you're down. He didn't care. So he deserved every crippler crossface that he got. I'd be down there talking shit to him while I'm doing it. I'm the Brahma Bull, bitch. I'm the Brahma Bull. So then you let him go and the match is over, but Michael's all butthurt still, so he kicks you in the balls.
That's my fucking finishing move. How you like that? Winner and champion. Give me a hell yeah.
Now, like I said, we would always wrestle in David's front yard. But there was one time in particular, we decided to wrestle in this restaurant's parking lot that was across the street. Now, why would we wrestle in a busy parking lot? Well, because we're dumbass 11-year-olds, that's why. And dumbass 11-year-olds do dumbass things like wrestle in a busy parking lot. So we have this street match, if you will, and it's between David and Michael. Now, you had to watch out for David, because David would do this really cool finishing move where he'd take your legs and then bend you backwards until your asshole touched the back of your head. It did not feel good, and I did not want to be a part of it whatsoever. So they start going at it, and since Michael's such a wuss, Dave's got him on the ground in about 30 seconds.
Hey, have they met before? What? Has who met before? Your asshole and the back of your head. Allow me to introduce the two.
So there we are, in the middle of this restaurant parking lot. Michael's bent in half. He's crying like he got shot by a fucking rifle. Of course, some guy in his car sees us and he's like, what the hell is this kindergarten fight club bullshit? Hey, leave that kid in the Scottie Pippen jersey alone before I call the cops.
We're not doing anything. I was just trying to introduce one body part to another, that's all.
I'm all pissed off, like, God damn it, there's a styrofoam championship belt on the line. Mind your own business, you jabroni. Jabroni? I'm part German and Dutch Irish. I don't have a drop of jabroni blood in me. God damn it, I'm calling the cops.
No, there's no need to. See, look, he's all right. He's fine. How you like them apples, huh? Winner and still champion. I am still the champion, the champion, the champion.
All right. Now, when I was a kid, it was your responsibility to entertain yourself. And the best way to do that was to play stupid-ass games like hide and seek. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I'm a pretty big deal when it comes to hide and seek. I could find all the best hiding spots. My ass would be missing for days at a time.
Well, it's been 2 hours. I don't feel like looking for his ass anymore. Let's go play Nintendo.
Eventually, I just pop up in the middle of nowhere. People are in the middle of my eulogy and shit.
Oh my God, my baby's alive.
God damn it, do you have any idea what this funeral cost? I wasn't like my dumbass friend Michael, who'd be standing there behind a lamp with his eyes closed and shit.
They can't see me if I can't see them.
Michael, you could have at least turned the lamp off. You're on a goddamn spotlight, for Christ's sake. The only problem is, sometimes in hide and seek, I'd get a little ambitious and it would get me into trouble. For example, one day we were playing at my friend Steven's house, and I got the brilliant idea to hide in his dryer. Now, what could possibly go wrong there? It's just a big, heavy appliance that could kill me if I wasn't careful. What's the big deal? So I squeeze my ass in there like an idiot. I have Michael shut the door for me.
You want me to turn it on tumble dry just to make it look more inconspicuous?
Michael, if you touch any of those buttons out there, I will stone cold stunner you into the damn stratosphere. You understand me? I'm all cramped and uncomfortable, just hoping nothing horrific happens, like I suffocate or, God forbid, lose the goddamn hide-and-seek game. I start leaning back, trying to get cozy in this goddamn thing, and just as I do that, the drum of the dryer starts to spin backwards. So instead of sitting on my ass like I was, now I'm sitting on my neck with all my body weight pressing down on me. Now, it's important to note that I'm not a claustrophobic person, or at least I wasn't before I got stuck in a fucking dryer. I'm filled with panic. I'm laying there thinking, oh my God, this is how I'm gonna die. In some stupid-ass Kama Sutra position, stuck in a fucking Maytag. Somehow I get the door open. I can see Michael standing in the corner with a laundry basket on his head.
Michael, help me. Would you shut your mouth? You're gonna lead him right to us.
God damn it, Michael. I can't breathe.
Stop gasping for air so loud. What the hell is the matter with you?
All of a sudden, Steven walks in. He sees my ass getting eaten alive by his dryer like some kind of shitty Goosebumps book.
Oh, what the hell is this?
I didn't sign up for this shit. So he and my friend David have to pull me out like a couple of drunken Hardy Boys.
He still has to be it, right? You guys found him first and he didn't die, so he has to be it.
Michael, as soon as I can feel my legs, you're getting stone cold stunner. Do you know that? So needless to say, I had to change my hide and seek strategy. So instead of hiding in appliances, I would go to rooms that I wasn't supposed to be in. One time I went into Steven's mom's bedroom and I tried to hide under her bed, but I couldn't hide under her bed because there was a box there blocking my way. So I pull it out and take a good look at what it is, and it's some kind of swing for adults. It's a fucking sex swing is what it is.
Oh, what the fuck? What is it? What'd you find?
Michael, what are you doing in Steven's mom's dresser drawer?
I'm trying to hide. What do you think? You know how hard it was to fit in here with all these handcuffs and bottles of lotion?
Handcuffs and bottles of lotion?
Yeah, and this weird thing that keeps tickling me.
Just then everybody else comes in. Dude, what kind of weird circus shit is your mom into? Steven's standing there looking at the box all horrified. Michael's checking under the bed for anything else.
Maybe there's monkey bars under here too.
So we don't know what to do at this point, so we just slide it back under the bed and hope she doesn't notice. I got a protractor out there trying to get every exact angle right. We're out in the living room trying not to make eye contact with Steven's mom.
So are you boys having a good time?
Not as good of a time you've been having, apparently.
What?
Nothing. Yeah, we're having a great time. In fact, I should swing by a lot more often and play hide and seek. What do you think, Steven? Should I swing by tomorrow?
Yeah, or maybe you can swing by my house and we can play there. Oh, I get it, because we found that sex swing in your mom's bedroom. Yeah, I'll swing by.
I can swing by doggy style if you want. Alright, now every young man remembers certain firsts that occur in their life. Your first broken bone?
Dare me to jump off the garage? Yeah, do it.
Your first physical at the doctor's office, and now I'm gonna feel your balls, and it's gonna get really weird. Turn and cough, please. But everybody tends to remember their first kiss. And the story starts with me staying the night at my friend Michael's house. And before you get ahead of yourself, no, my first kiss wasn't with Michael. I'd rather eat the crumbs out of Rosie O'Donnell's belly button than do something like that. So anyways, I was staying the night at Michael's house. And staying the night at Michael's house sucks ass for a couple of reasons. For one, we always had to stay up in his room all night because his stepdad would be downstairs in his underwear watching hockey, getting mad at the TV. Oh, what kind of Mighty Duck bullshit was that? God damn it, Emilio Estevez. And two, Michael didn't have anything to do in his room. He had like a dirty mattress in the corner, some TV from the 1950s. Holy hell, what am I, in a third world country? Michael, it's like a Turkish prison in this place. Where's all your stuff at? My stepdad sold all my stuff for Marlboro Reds and Natural Light, but I do got this sweet paint roller. What the hell are we gonna do with a paint roller, Michael? Don't you guys have a Sega Genesis downstairs? Let's go sneak down there and get it. I don't know, the last time I snuck downstairs, my stepdad took my paint roller away. Forget about the goddamn paint roller, Michael. Autistic kids play with paint rollers, for Christ's sake. Let's go downstairs and get your Sega. So we try to sneak down there. We don't even get to the bottom of the stairs before we get caught. What the hell do you think you guys are doing? It's a goddamn power play right now. The last thing I need is a couple of 8-year-old Oshkosh bagosh wearing assholes down here. So back to the Turkish prison we go, aka Michael's bedroom. Now Michael also had a sister, and she was upstairs in the room next to his. Now she was no Topanga from the Boy Meets World, but she was a year older than I was, which meant she was sophisticated. She didn't like Polly Pocket. She liked Buffy the Vampire Slayer and shit like that. Well, she comes over to Michael's room and she's like, what are you guys doing in here? Oh, nothing. Just, fucking off with this paint roller. What are you doing? So the three of us hang out in Michael's room. We actually end up having a pretty good time. We stayed up most of the night talking about all the stupid shit that Michael did when he was younger. Remember when I dressed you up like a girl and made you marry the dog? No, I don't remember that at all. Oh, well, here's a picture of it. What a beautiful wedding. You were so pretty. All right, that's enough of that. Now, throughout the night, I could have swore that Michael's sister was making the moves on me. Now, I'm no Pierce Brosnan, but she'd be sitting next to me and she'd be like, you know, sometimes I see you outside, and the way you hit a wiffle ball, you're like a white Sammy Sosa. Thank you. I see the way you sing your Spice Girl songs, and you're like a less cracked out Whitney Houston. I look over to Michael, and he's passed out on the floor, holding the paint roller like a teddy bear. I look back, and Michael's sister just leans over and kisses me. Now, I can't tell you what it feels like getting your first kiss as a kid, but I can tell you that the song Getting Jiggy With It by Will Smith was playing in my head the entire time. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Getting jiggy with it.
Just make sure you don't tell anybody that we kissed, okay? All right, no problem. So the next day, I tell all my friends, naturally, hey, Michael, guess whose mouth was all over your sister last night? What? I said I kissed your sister last night while you were spooning with that goddamn paint roller. You did what? Oh, man, that's crazy. I kissed her before, too. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, one time I gave her a Jolly Rancher, and she just started licking my face and shit. Oh, god damn it. Your sister's a slut. Me and David high-five each other. Michael's face looks like he just shit his pants. Tommy's over there digging through his pockets looking for a Jolly Rancher. So it turns out that just about everybody in the neighborhood was getting jiggy with Michael's sister. She was like a game of t-ball. Everybody gets a turn and nobody strikes out. You just had to make sure that you went to the clinic afterwards and made sure you were clean. Nope, no mouth herpes for you, but we should do another physical to make sure. Drop those pants and turn and cough. All right, since Halloween's in pissing distance right now, I figured I'd tell a spooky story. Spooky Brewstew'S story. Ooh, scary. Ooh. This story's about a haunted duplex that I used to live in. I know what you're saying. A haunted duplex? That sounds like a shitty Goosebumps book, for Christ's sake. Everybody knows that there's no such thing as ghosts or demons or Puerto Rican people, but whatever. This really happened, believe it or don't. It's a true story. So one night, I'm farting around with a Ouija board. Now, if you don't know what a Ouija board is, it's basically a board game that lets children talk to the devil. No big deal, whatever. So that night, it was me, my roommate, his girlfriend, and Cody. Cody was drunk at the time. Not important to the story. Just figured I'd mention he was a little shitty that night. So we're sitting there, and we're asking questions out loud, trying to conjure some spirits that would want to talk to some punk-ass 19-year-olds. Hey, any dead things out there want to talk to us? We can make pizza rolls. And after a few questions, this little plastic periscope thingy starts to move around the board. And I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Cody, stop moving the goddamn periscope thing, you drunk idiot. I'm not moving it. Kiss my ass. One of you guys are moving the damn thing, okay? You can't trick me. I have a public school education, goddammit. I'm not dumb. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try to trick him here, throw him a curveball. All right there, Devil Ghost. How about you name a dead relative of mine that nobody here would know about? Well, I'll be damned if this thing didn't spell out the name Laverne. That's my dead great-grandma. My butthole tightens up. None of these dummies know who my great-grandma is. And it's not as if Laverne is a goddamn common name that somebody would just toss out there as a guess. There's like 2 people in the history of the world named Laverne. One of them is Shirley's best friend, and the other one's my dead great-grandma. Okay, guys, now's a good time for you to tell me that you're dicking around with me. I'm starting to freak out. I try to play it off. So, what's your name there, Mr. Ghost? Mrs. Ghost? Gender-neutral ghost? I don't know what you are. The thing spells out S-H-U-T-U-P. Shut up. Rude. This is my house you're in, Ghost. Duplex. What, Cody? You live in a duplex. It's half a house that, poor people live in. Okay, thank you, Cody. This is my duplex. Ghost, what's your name? Shut up. Don't tell me to shut up. I'm a grown man, Ghost. I'm the king of this castle. Duplex. Shut the fuck up, Cody. At this point, I'm kind of freaking out. Let's play Monopoly or some shit. This is creeping me out. And just then, 3 out of the 4 people there heard a noise come from somewhere in the hallway. And it sounded like a growl. Something like, well, maybe not like that. That sounds like somebody trying to hold back a sneeze. It was a growl of some sort. A little bit more frightening. No, and that wasn't that either. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a growl. God, that was bad. We didn't giggle when we heard it. We were scared. Oh, God. Did you hear that? Yeah, I heard that. I heard it, too. You guys want to get Taco Bell? Shut the hell up, Cody. God damn it. There's a demon gargoyle or some shit in the house, and you're worried about a cheesy gordita crunch. No, dude, a chalupa. Shut the hell up. Do you not understand the situation here? We have opened up a portal to hell. Ghosts, demons, and Puerto Ricans are real, goddammit. So we investigate the hallway like a shitty Scooby-Doo gang. Nothing. There's nothing in there. All right, everybody, I think that's enough of the Ouija board tonight. Y'all are assholes. Thanks for the demon ghosts. A few hours later, I'm laying in bed, absolutely terrified. It's like 5 or 6 in the morning. It's just starting to get a little light outside. I'm staring up at the ceiling, and I'm finally about to fall asleep when all of a sudden, goddamn black shadow darts across my ceiling. Oh, I didn't see that. That must have been my imagination. Definitely wasn't a demon shadow prancing around here. And just when I thought that, the light in my bedroom goes on. Oh, piss! I do a goddamn back handspring off my bed like an Olympian, run out of my room, and start pounding on my roommate's door like a huge wuss. There's a demon in the house! Wake your ass up! And he wakes up from a dead-ass sleep, totally delirious. And I'll never forget it. He raises his head up and he's like, hello? Hello? What are you, answering a goddamn phone call? Get your ass out here! I sat out on the porch for a good 2 hours that morning, until it was nice and bright outside, because demons can't eat your soul in the daylight, according to me, a sudden expert in demonology. Now, this night was just the tip of the iceberg of all the crazy shit that happened in that duplex. We lived there for another year, and I'm telling you right now, it only got worse. And if you guys like this story, maybe I'll make another one, make it a little mini-series. Haunted Duplex, Part 2, back with a vengeance. So, the lesson I want you to take from this video is pretty simple. Don't be screwing around with Ouija boards. I don't care if it's made by Hasbro and you can pick one up at Toys R Us. If you see a Ouija board, you fucking chuck that thing in a river like it's the goddamn Jumanji game. Alright, so this story is a little disgusting. It's a story about my roommate Brewer and myself living in a house infested with rats. Delicious. Now, after all the haunted duplex shenanigans, me and Brewer decide to move into an even shittier house in an even shittier neighborhood. And instead of dealing with demon ghosts, we get to deal with a bunch of disgusting-ass rats. I think I'd rather live with like a pissed-off orangutan or something like that instead. Mr. Bubbles, do you mind if we watch Netflix in here? Oh, God. Now, when we moved in, we obviously didn't know that the house was infested. But after a couple of days, we started seeing tiny poop pellets in the kitchen. Hey, have you been leaving little tiny turds around the house? No. Huh. Well, I wonder what that's all about. It wasn't until one night I was in the bathroom taking a dump, and I look over, and I see the ass of a rat hanging out of a hole in the wall. Well, that's not something you want to see while you're totally vulnerable taking a poop. Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Now, my first instinct was to grab a pair of scissors and cut its tail off. But then I was like, no, that's fucked up. It's like some Jeffrey Dahmer shit. what the hell's the matter with you? So in mid-poop, with my pants around my ankles, I open the door and yell,
Rats! We got rats in the house, invading my privacy!
Now it's important to note that this wasn't a mouse. A mouse is little, it's cute, it's friends with Donald Duck. People like mice. Rats, on the other hand, they're big, they're nasty, and they couldn't give two fucks about Donald Duck. Now my bedroom in this house was on the bottom floor, so that means I could hear the rats outside my door all night long. Now that's pretty damn disgusting. All I could think about was, well, what the hell happens if one of them comes in here?
Hey, what's the password to your Netflix account? We want to watch season 4 of Scrubs out there.
I'd open my bedroom door, they'd all scatter every which way, but there was one big-ass rat that was like twice the size of any of the other ones. That goddamn thing was like half the size of Brewer's dog. It was the Megazord of rats. That goddamn thing looked like a boss from a Mortal Kombat game. It was not afraid of me at all. It'd just be staring at me like, the fuck are you looking at? Why don't you get in the kitchen and make me some bagel bites? So needless to say, we had a big problem on our hands. People stopped coming to our house and shit.
I'm not going over there. I don't want typhus.
Well, I'll be damned if I'm gonna live up to my asshole and a bunch of rats. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So the next night, I'm laying on the living room floor with a BB gun. I got a cupcake out in the kitchen as bait. It's time to pull a Lee Harvey Oswald and assassinate me a few rats. Now, I actually got real footage of this fantastic time in my life. Boom, right there's the cupcake, buttercream frosting. It's delicious. And look who shows up. Fat-ass rat looking to party. I take the shot, and I totally fuck it up. Well, some Lee Harvey Oswald I am. Jesus Christ, my ass wouldn't even have hit JFK's convertible shooting like that. So let's slow the footage down and analyze it like some little rat Zapruder film. Here's the shot. And this goddamn rat does some Neo from the Matrix backflip bullshit over my goddamn bullet. Okay, so clearly the BB gun is not gonna work. Time to move on to rat poison. We sprinkle a bit of rat poison right on the front step of this asshole's house, and sure as hell the next day, it's all gone. They damn well licked that plate clean. 2 days later, I go in our basement, and there's 4 dead rats on the ground. All right, job well done. But wait a minute, where's that big bastard at? That goddamn Megazord rat is nowhere to be seen. 2 more days go by. I'm sitting in my room watching TV, and lo and behold, the big kahuna himself comes crawling across the floor in broad daylight like somebody's drunk uncle and just dies right there in the middle of the living room. And here's a picture of that goddamn thing. I put a little Taco Bell packet in there so you could get a reference of the size. But before we could celebrate, Brewer's dog prances on in. She sees that dead rat and she's like,
oh, what do we have here? A dead rat full of disease and poison? Well, I better have a lick.
Shortly afterwards, I walk out there, see Brewer's dog making out with this rat carcass. The dog looks up at me like,
well, I wasn't just gonna leave it there. I'm a dog, you stupid ass.
So I panic. I call up Brewer while he's at work, and I'm like, your dog was just licking a dead rat like an ice cream cone. You got any last words you want to say to her? But she was all right. We took her to a vet afterwards, and they gave her some medicine.
How about you don't let your dog eat dead rats?
So our house was officially rat-free, nobody got typhus, and I could poop in peace again. The end. All right, now when I was a kid, I was a part of a youth rifle league. One day, my grandpa came up to me and he's like, hey, you're 12 now, wanna shoot a gun? Well, hell yeah, I wanna shoot a gun. I've been waiting for that moment all my goddamn life. Let me see this thing, I know what I'm doing. I've played GoldenEye 64. Where's the Z button on this goddamn thing? So every Saturday morning, I'd go and target shoot 22 caliber rifles with a bunch of other kids. I know what you're thinking, a bunch of kids in a room with rifles? Sounds like a bad idea.
If you talk shit about Scooby-Doo one more time, I'm gonna blow your goddamn brains out!
But the instructor made sure firearm safety was branded into our brains. You see this thing? It's not a toy. It's not a goddamn Tamagotchi or whatever the hell you kids play with these days. So don't be a bunch of dumbasses. Now most kids shot their own rifles that they brought from home, but my ass was broke, so I didn't have one. I had to borrow one from the club. Here, you can use this crusty ass rifle we found in a trench in World War I. We just been using it to prop up a table the past 3 months anyways. This goddamn gun was half the size of my body. There's like dried blood on it and shit. So there I was, on the firing line with my gun from the Antique Roadshow.
Is this thing gonna explode in my hand when I shoot it?
Now, I was not a very good shot when I first started shooting. And to make things worse, I was always the last one done shooting. So that meant that everyone would have their eyes on me, watching me shoot like a bunch of perverts. I'd be nervous as hell. I'd be trembling like I'm going through morphine withdrawals. I'd take my last shot, fucking hit the wood holding up the target.
Oh my god, he hit the wood! What an idiot!
Just laying there embarrassed. Well, What the hell was that? What are you holding the gun upside down? How the hell do you hit the wood? Now it's important to remember that this was a competition and we weren't competing by ourselves. No, we were all split up into teams of 3. And my team was me and 2 17-year-old kids. Not really kids, they're practically grown-ass men at this point. We don't have anything in common. They don't watch the Angry Beavers like I do. They watch shit like Dawson's Creek. Dawson's Creek? Who the fuck is Dawson's Creek? They had these fancy rifles that their dads bought them. Things got like fucking antennas off the sides and an iPod dock and shit. Hello? What? Sorry, I'm talking on my gun phone. Can you hear me? And these guys were pretty good. They're knocking bullseyes left and right. They're shooting behind their head and shit. That's damn good shooting. You're a real Lee Harvey Oswald, aren't you? Meanwhile, I'm over here shooting like a nearsighted stormtrooper. Holy hell, some Lee Harvey Oswald you are. Jesus, JFK would have fucking seen the moon landing if your ass was shooting at him. Needless to say, I was the weak link on our little rifle team. Now, for every match, we would shoot 4 rounds in 4 different positions. And offhand was the hardest position by far, because you're just standing there and you got no support. I'd be out there trying to steady this 25-pound grandpa rifle with my 12-year-old noodle arms. I'm shooting all over the goddamn place. My target looks like I'm shooting my name in cursive down there. I'm shooting out light bulbs and shit. The instructor's pulling out Kevlar vests for everybody. We got like a camera crew out there filming me. What not to do when shooting a rifle indoors? I'm surprised somebody didn't go out there and just break my rifle in half. That's enough of that bullshit. You're gonna fucking kill somebody, you maniac. But in the end, it didn't matter how bad I shot because we won the championship anyways. My teammates were so good, I could have shot my rifle backwards and we still would have won. I know I didn't contribute much. Hell, I was practically the mascot of my goddamn team. But we still won. Hey, I get a trophy too, right? I'm still a part of this team, even though I don't got a fancy spaceship rifle or Dawson's Creek. I'm a goddamn champion. Who wants my autograph?
All right, Christmas, 1997. Think back at what the hell you were doing back then. Maybe you were kicking your dad's ass in a game of Twisted Metal on the PlayStation. Or maybe you were watching an episode of Hey Arnold with a bunch of Beanie Babies. I'll tell you what I was doing. I was unwrapping the best present I ever got for Christmas.
Sockem Boppers.
Sockem Boppers.
Now, you might know them as Soccer Boppers or something else, but I knew them as Sockem Boppers. And if you don't know what Sockem Boppers are, don't feel bad, okay? That just means you had real toys to play with when you were a kid. You'd have to blow them up first, and then you'd put your hands in them, and then you'd go find something to beat the shit out of. Didn't really matter what it was, a pet cat, a homeless guy, your little brother while he's trying to take a shit in the bathroom. Stop, I'm pooping! Stop it, I'm trying to poop! Now, in the commercials, they'd always depict the kids just hitting each other, laughing, having a good time. They're having fun. But it was a little different in reality. Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? And every fight that you had was the same. It'd start off pretty simple, everybody's having fun, and then shit would get pretty real in about 45 seconds. You'd get one punch to the face, and it was just a little bit too hard for your liking. Ow, you son of a bitch! Hey, what the hell are you kids doing in there? Oh, we're just bopping each other's brains out in here. Oh, all right. Wait, what? All your dumbass relatives are coming over trying to figure out what the hell they are.
Hey, you kids playing your bopper socks?
Shut up, Uncle Rick, you're drunk.
Oh, come on, let me see one of them Bocker sockers. I'm gonna knock you on the head.
God damn it, Rick, be easy with those boys. No wonder why your wife divorced you. And I can remember on the side of the box it would say, more fun than a pillow fight. Yeah, okay, sure, I can see that, and it's a little bit safer than a broken bottle knife fight, sure. My dad's acting like it's a spectator sport. He's calling all his friends over. Hey, I got a bunch of kids over here beating the shit out of each other. Go get some beer. And then 45 minutes later, your hands will be all sticky and hot from all your bippity bopping that you've been doing. My hands smell like the ball pit at McDonald's. And then when you didn't have anybody to fight, you'd have to find something to do with them. So you'd put 2 on your hands and then 2 on your feet, walk around your house like an asshole. And about 4 days later, your sorry-ass Sockem Boppers are full of holes and patched in duct tape. Let's just use our bare hands. So here's to you, Sockem Boppers. You were the best way to lose some baby teeth.
Sockem Boppers, Sockem Boppers. Punch your dad in the belly while he's getting up here.
All right. When I was a kid,
I can remember getting into a lot of neighborhood arguments. Somebody always had a problem about something. You'd argue about who was going to be Odd Job in GoldenEye 64. You'd fight over who's going to get the wiffle ball out of the neighborhood sex offender's backyard. And if you got a pack of Starbursts, well, hell, you'd fight over who's going to get the red ones, because I'd be damned if I was going to get those yellow pine sol tasting pieces of shit. And there was nobody I argued with more than my next door neighbor, Michael, because Michael was an asshole and a liar. Now I'm going to give you an example of an argument, and I'm going to break it down into 3 phases. The first phase is Michael saying something completely untrue, totally fabricated, and borderline retarded. One time my dad was on an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger. Shut the fuck up, Michael. No, he wasn't. Yeah, huh? He was a bad guy and he got to roundhouse Chuck Norris. Oh my god. Michael, you are a fucktard. Jesus. Don't call me fucktard, Jesus. I didn't call you a fucktard, Jesus. I know you are, but what am I? Phase 2. Michael repeats the phrase, I know you are, but what am I, over and over again until he's fucking blue in the face. I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? Michael, shut the fuck up before I crack you in the face with this fucking vortex football. Which was a bluff. I wouldn't hit him, because if you did hit Michael, he'd fucking cry and he'd run in his house, go get his mom, and she'd come outside and yell at you. But you know what? Sometimes it was worth it. Oh, shit. Here, Michael, hit me back. Hit me back, quick. Make it even. Hit me back. Hey, he hit me back. We're even. But if you manage to not pummel Michael's face in and give him a Lindsay Lohan makeover, you would advance to phase 3. Yeah, well, my dad could beat up your dad. My dad could beat up your dad. That's right. Before we were battling Pokemon, we were battling each other's dads. Your dad could beat up my dad, Michael? That's funny, because number 1, no the fuck he can't, and number 2, your dad works at Home Depot. Yeah, huh, my dad would bite off all your fingers like they were fish sticks. Shut the fuck up, Michael. What are you talking about? What is your dad, a goddamn Rottweiler? Like, that was really what we were fighting about. I could see myself just walking up to my dad. Hey, Dad, can you go outside and fight Michael's dad? What the hell are you talking about? I'm saying get out there and go whoop some ass, because I'll be damned if I'm going to have some little itty-bitty bitch daddy. And in this corner, he's been stealing his neighbor's cable for 6 years, Tyler's dad. And in the opposite corner, he once drank 5 beers in 3 minutes, and he was a bad guy in an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger. No, he fucking wasn't.
Michael's Pop Pop.
But you know what? That never happened. I wish it did. It would have made a better story, but it didn't. And you know why? Because it was fucking stupid as hell, that's why. That, and because my dad would have put Michael's dad in the fucking hospital.
Brewstew.com